Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 13, lucky number 13 of the KoppsCast. As always, I'm B-Kopps, and right here on this channel, every other Thursday, usually every other Thursday, we're doing something a little different this week. Made an exception for my good buddy, who, Mitch, welcome in, buddy. Oni, we got a really good crowd in here. Eyelashes in here, Inuyasha, Mike, welcome. Mitch, yep, welcome everybody. And of course, like I was saying, every other week we do these. Mega, thank you for that 13-month sub. Doing that right before I even bring them out. The Baker's dozen indeed. Well, how funny did that work out? Your episode 13 and 13 months. I think he totally planned that. I don't know about it. But anyway, we got to say we every other week we do these interviews, we do these talk shows, we do these podcasts. We have different content creators on, and show them a little love, show them my appreciation, and just give them a little highlight, because I like having a lot of these friends on, and give them a little love, and of course this guest is no exception. He's been streaming for a while. I met him last year. Incredibly generous dude, incredibly nice, super supportive. He's been giving me so much, or has given me like such important advice when it comes to streaming, just with my channel in general. Like, I honestly would have stopped streaming if it wasn't for him, And overall, just a great dude, part of a great community. Also does a podcast. He's a photographer, graphic designer. He does a great variety of stuff. And let's bring him out, shall we? So, folks, let's hear it for the one and only MegaGremlin himself. Mega, what's up, dude?
Hey, brother, how are you?
Good, man. To see you. Seriously, thank you so much for coming on, man. Like,
appreciate that kind intro.
and thank you again for that 13-month sub.
Oh, absolutely. It's the Baker's dozen.
Yeah. And as always, enjoy your continued use of those Emperor's New Groove themed emotes, the Raging Cop emote, and all the other jazz. But yeah, like I was saying, thank you so much for jumping on. And you've been one of the first folks I had in mind for this. Is just having a certain rotation, and then I was like, all right, Mega's definitely coming on now. So
all right,
and
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Yeah, so how's everything been with you? This year has just been absolutely crazy, like, to say the least, and we're all getting through it, but yeah, how's this whole year affected you?
I mean, it's been a pain in the ass, I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
But we're kind of at a new normal at this point, so after 3 or 4 weeks, you generally kind of get adapted to a change in lifestyle or change in environment, whatever. So I mean, you just kind of roll with it at this point. Although it has been MD Fit.
M rating with the party of 20. Welcome in, everybody. How's it going? And thank you so much for that raid. Hello, everybody. Aga,
my better half.
Soraya's in here. Welcome, friends. If this is your first time here, I'm B-Kopps. I primarily play a lot of RPGs on here, sometimes a variety of stuff. And here, every other week, we do these interviews with various content creators. And of course, I'm super excited to have the one and only MegaGremlin himself. And M with the 12-month sub.
There it is. Just 1 month behind me.
And thank you so much for that 1 year sub. And
that's right, I can claim seniority.
And of course, if you're not following MD Fit on her channel, please show her some love over there. She's so awesome. She's, you know, of course, Mega's other half, and she's just, you know, incredibly loving, supportive, like I said, and yeah, her channel has just been absolutely taking off, and I've been so stoked to just see it really just going off. So yeah, thank you so much for that. And yeah, welcome everybody. Aga, how you doing?
And the track playing is Mega Man.
Hell yeah. Trip, welcome in. And yeah, I hope all of you are doing well on this Tuesday.
Yeah, no, it's I appreciate you doing it on Tuesday for me instead of Thursday.
Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, usually, you were saying usually this is an every other Thursday on here, but yeah, I really wanted Mega to come on, so you know, you gotta adjust schedules sometimes, especially for your friends, right? You know.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, what are you drinking there? What do you got tonight?
So, so I specifically picked this one out of my fridge because you messaged me on Instagram a certain foolproof Ocean State Lager. So this is another foolproof beer they have. This is their porter called the Rain Cloud. It's like a chocolate porter kinda.
Nice,
real tasty.
Very nice. I'll be drinking the Monster Energy drink for this evening.
Hell yeah.
It's Ultra Paradise. It has flavors of kiwi and cucumber. Apparently, I don't know.
I can't remember I can't remember the last time I've had an energy drink in general.
Em loves when I drink them. Yeah, I do. I have a pumpkin stout in the fridge. Southern Tier.
Nice. And thank you for that, host.
It's quite good.
I think of because I have with the Dogfish pumpkin. I have that one in my fridge.
Good one. Good one.
I haven't had a pumpkin stout though. That sounds really good too. I'm generally a big stout guy.
The pumpkin and pumpkin spice flavors in it are pretty subtle, but something about however they did it, it is one of the creamiest stouts I've ever had. I mean, it's like having a Cool Whip in your mouth. It's like that creamy, you know?
Yeah, they're usually just like straight up dessert. Like I'm really big into like peanut butter stouts and
yeah,
like vanilla stouts too. Darren, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. I don't know, they're all gross. M's not a
she doesn't like the dark beers so much.
No.
She does like beer with flavors. She just doesn't like and I don't mean necessarily like, you know, like crazy flavors, but she likes beers that are flavorful.
Yeah, I'm sure we could.
So, hey, McFarlane, what's going on?
McFarlane, welcome in. Good to see you as well. But yeah, man. So we were just talking about how things have been going for you. You were mentioning that it was I mean, obviously this year's been absolute insanity for everybody, and just getting used to the new normal and
so I've been streaming when I can. It definitely has affected my streaming schedule. I used to be Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I've had to largely drop Tuesdays just because teleworking, working from home, alternative work schedules, all that stuff mostly means that everything I do takes twice as long now because I don't have access to my office all the time. So it just makes it difficult to stream regularly. So I decided to forego Tuesday nights most of the time just because it was easier for me to promise to be there on Thursday and Saturday. And I couldn't really, I just couldn't guarantee that I could be there 3 days a week anymore. So, and there's nothing I hate more than missing something that's scheduled. It drives me nuts if I say I'm going to stream and I can't.
Yep. Yeah, I've actually had to cancel like a few in the last month, which I was on such a streak or such a roll going, and then life happens, and I got some big personal life changes that are happening, and I just all right, I really need to get this done. Unfortunately, this happens, and
you got to take care of you.
Yeah, definitely, man. But yeah, glad you're doing well. Glad between you and Em, and luckily for you, like you said, you're able to work remote for somewhat for what you do. We won't
Yeah.
dive into that, but it's still it's still good that you don't have to go like every day like you used to. So that's a plus.
Yeah, today was kind of evil. I had to get up at 3:00 in the morning and drive 2 hours to go to work. And...
Yeah, I definitely don't miss that, or just long commutes in general.
Yeah, 110 miles.
Yeah, I worked in Foxborough for a spill, and just like sitting through like the Boston traffic, just dealing with that. But I mean that was only like a 6-month thing, and once I realized like they really didn't have much for me to do, I was like, all right, well, guess I'm gonna look at this other job.
I'm done with that.
Yeah. He's a Reed.
Nice.
Hey, Kitty's being rambunctious at the moment.
Oh yeah, Reed is right here, and Mara's over here. It's I don't know. There's something going on down here. I think they're gonna take me down the second nobody's looking.
But yeah, so I wanted to have you on. I wanted to, like all the other guests I've had on the channel for these little interviews, these little conversations.
I actually just watched the Nerdy Jane episode on the way to work today.
Nice, man. Oh, and Mr. Chaw, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Yeah, that was a really good chat with her. I mean, all the guests that I've had on. M was one of the first guests. Loved chatting with her. Had some of my like closest buddies that are have their own creative endeavors and stuff. Like my buddy Ben, who was a couple guests ago, he's a drummer of a big Boston hardcore band, so that was fun.
Nice.
Getting updates from him about that, and just kind of shooting the shit,
Cool.
But yeah,
Cool.
so we met last year. About that. You
13 months ago. It would have been probably just right before TwitchCon, right?
Yeah, I think it was like June of like last year.
I think so.
We both happened to be playing the same game at the same time, and which was Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't know if if anyone in the chat is if you played that game or enjoyed that game. It was one that I missed out on in like 2017, and it was just sitting on my shelf, and finally got into it, and then I just happened to be lucky enough where I happened to be in your like the currently playing list or whatever, and you threw me a raid where at my channel was just basically like not a whole lot going on there at that point, so so seeing like a raid of like 20 people like pop in, that was exciting.
Yeah, I remember those days. Yeah, because I think there was there was only like 3 rows of people that were streaming it at the time. It was a pretty dead game at the time, right?
Yeah, about that. Yeah, because usually it's like once there's like a new hot release, you see like everyone in your feed like playing it like right away, and then maybe that's a good thing for me. Or for like a lot of newer games, if I want to jump into one, I'll wait like either like months or like years after or something. And
because you got a better chance of being able to share it with people at that point. How do you commit? How do you like? I'm playing Squadrons right now, and I was playing Squadrons Saturday. Was it Saturday? Yeah, it had to have been Saturday. And the top channel had like 4,800 people in it.
Oh wow!
And it took to about row 4 or 5 before it was even in the hundreds. So the chance of anyone new finding you in a saturated game like that is just about zero. So
yeah,
kind of have to, you kind of have to understand when you do play a new title like that that it's for you and your community. You're not reaching out and kind of growing your community really so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Spending time with your own.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, that's primarily why, like, why I do like a lot of like older titles. Like, I do a lot of retro stuff on here. I mean, that's always just been my preference, my go-to anyway. But once in a while I'll do some like modern stuff, and but yeah, just funny how that worked out. We how we were both we're both playing Horizon, and it's one thing led to another, and yeah, now was really grateful for that, man.
Okay.
And met so many awesome people from your community, then meeting M, meeting Dory. Meeting a lot of those folks, and there's a whole lot of awesome streamers, awesome content creators, all like part of like that big circle. So
yeah, yeah, I'm glad we found you. So we let's see, yeah, we were, I guess, what are we started about a half an hour apart, right?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, I'm 6:30 or 7.
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, you were there when I was done, and still going strong because you're much younger than I am.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad because because I want to catch more of your streams, but because I've always just had like Tuesday, Thursday. Those were like the days that worked out for me, and then Sunday just ended up rotating in and becoming a regular day. And but I mean, at least I can catch you on Saturdays, and
yeah, while you're nursing that hangover, and
pretty much, yeah.
All right, Em, talk to you soon. I'll see you upstairs in a couple hours.
All right, Em, thank you so much for that raid. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a good rest of your night. And yeah, if any of you aren't following MDFit over there, please show her some love. And yeah, go check her out. She's a full-time streamer. She's just, like I said, she's just been killing it over there.
Yeah,
does a good
doing cosplays the entire month of October.
Yeah, she had a really awesome makeup stream yesterday.
Oh yeah,
and she did a Jessica Rabbit 2 nights ago. That was awesome.
Yeah, killing it.
Yeah, go check her out, and go check out all the friends that are getting shouted out right now. There's just so many, whole lot of streamers, whole lot of friends. So yeah, definitely check them all out.
I'll have to.
But yeah, so let's hear the let's hear the mega backstory. Because you
many moons ago.
So you mostly have lived in Jersey, right? Or Jersey area?
Yeah, I grew up. I was actually born in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Oh, right.
Grew up about 10 miles outside Atlantic City. Went to college fairly close by. Joined the United States Marine Corps in 1999 and moved to California. I was actually stationed in San Diego, California for 4 years, which was choice. If there's a place in the world you want to have free housing, it's in San Diego.
Yeah, I have a few friends that lived out there, and they pretty much like, dude, just it's like a whole other world out there, basically. Or even like my friends that lived in like LA, just walking around and just like clear skies like every day, just like perfect temp. And
yeah, New Jersey represent. So so I live mostly between New Jersey and California.
Cool, man.
While I was in the Marine Corps, I was stationed in a couple different places for temporary duty, but most of the time I was right there in California. And then I came back because my parents are here, and well, they're not as young as they used to be. So
yeah. And goes hashtag he old.
He old. Thanks, Sam. You will pay.
Dude, but legit, I thought you were when I first met you guys and hanging out on M's channel last year, I think was when you guys actually mentioned your actual age. I'm like, dude, no way. He's mid-30s the most. Come on, you pull my leg.
Yeah, most people say I'm 35. If you ask around, oh yeah, you look at 35, 37, something. Nope, 47 years old. This guy.
Great. Where did the time go, man? Crazy.
I don't know. If you drink enough Guinness, it keeps your skin smooth or something. I don't know.
Something
It's
like
something
that, yeah.
about keeping the nitrogen lines clean. It's.
And yeah, you mentioned you had the military background. You're a former Marine. What was
and I was a Marine combat photographer. So I learned the craft of photography. I actually took a lot of photos when I was younger, high school-ish age. I had my father's Minolta film camera. I shot a lot of black and white with it in high school, developed it myself, that kind of stuff. And then just kind of randomly fell back into photography when I joined the military, because when you join the Marine Corps, at least at the time, you could pick a job field, but they don't specify the actual job. So when you just kind of get it assigned to you. So there were a number. There was graphic design, there was photography, there was videography, there was public affairs, a bunch that was all kind of right under the same umbrella, and they ended up putting me in photography. So I went to the Defense Information School there at Fort Meade, Maryland, home of the NSA, and learned photography over about 6 months, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. And yeah, it was pretty cool. Learned all kinds of neat stuff, like how to develop film with like virtually any acid and base, like coffee, orange juice, baking soda, just to get an image. And then as soon as I graduated from school and went out to the Fleet Marine Force, they immediately transitioned the entire military to digital photography.
So when you mentioned like when you ended up picking, when you went with photography when you were in the Marines, like so they have like so it's just like a certain pool you pick from, and then but did you know you wanted to, like I guess before like you went in the military and stuff, were you primarily like thinking of like something art background, or did you have like something else in mind initially, or what was your?
So the job skill group that I put in for was visual information, and there's a training component, there's a intelligence component, so anything really that uses visual information really can be supported by the visual information groups. So I knew I wanted to do one of those at the time. Before I went into the Marine Corps, the tail end of my bachelor's college, and right before I went in the Marine Corps, I was actually working as a graphic designer. So I was, at that point I was hoping that they would put me in graphics, but I was pretty happy when they put me in photography too, because that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So you had a lot of like graphic design experience like before you went in there too?
Yeah, I've been I started off as a typesetter when that was still a thing. I used to be able to buy with like maybe 4 or 5 characters, be able to identify about 1,600 different fonts. Because people would give you a business card and say, hey, I want this exact business card, but I want this changed, and we don't have the original art. And I'd be like, oh yeah, this is gaudy old, whatever.
Just pull up Find My Font or whatever, and nowadays and
yeah. So back in the old days when the system that we were using there was a Windows PC, because some of the hardware we used was like custom hardware. Like we had a 1200 DPI laser printer before that was really a thing, and it required a custom card that you could only use in a PC, like in an ISA slot from like way back, a 16-bit ISA slot. And it was really, really, it was like the Millennium Falcon. The thing was testy. Like, if you turn pieces of software on at the wrong time, the printer wouldn't print. So yeah, we used to do, we would print offset printing plates out of this printer that would go directly into the press, and then they would print business cards and stuff like that.
That's cool.
But yeah, I could identify all these fonts like just by eye, and we'd have a mix of TrueType fonts from Windows, and of course, the Adobe fonts, the PostScript fonts, which at the time required software to be running for the system to be able to even see PostScript fonts. And
it's just funny like how much easier like all that is like now compared to back then.
Right click, install.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And because you were primarily photographer while you were in the military. So what did they like? I don't know if you can get into like the things they were like having you having you shoot while you were out doing?
So I did a mix of a lot of things. I was stationed at the Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego, which is like boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
Every Friday I would go out and I would take the picture of the recruits marching by and saluting the commanding general, and get one of each platoon as they go by, so the families could have photos later. And so I would do a lot of what you call grip and grin photography, people getting awards and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Promotions. Did a couple military weddings, but we also did training documentation. Recruits climbing up rappel towers, or we'd go up to Camp Pendleton if one of the fleet units was up there doing something fun. We also did mishap documentation, which sucked. So if somebody gets injured or hurt, or worse, we'd have to go document the scene, and there's like certain protocols you got to use. It's basically like at that point you're a forensic consultant, to a certain extent. So you got to know things like, all right, I'm using a film camera, so I have to photograph this entire scene at 50 millimeters, so that when I put scale objects in the photos, the edge of the photo is the same as the center of the photo, so you can actually use the scale to measure. Because if you do 35 millimeter lens, then you're going to get some distortion at the edges, blah, blah, blah. Then they switched us to digital, and we had to figure out the exact conversions for all the lenses, and we actually wrote them on the sides of the lenses. So now 35 millimeter lens on a 1.6 crop digital camera is approximately 50 millimeters, and so you would use that lens, but you would have to annotate that it wasn't exactly 50 millimeters because the math doesn't quite work out. And it's a big pain in the ass.
Yeah, my only photography experience in college, I took photo 1. So, actually doing it with with film and stuff. So it was cool to get the hang of that and stuff. And a lot of my compositions, I guess, that I wanted to do, or what I aimed to do, was to have shots that I would kind of overexpose to get a certain darkness or texture a certain way. And I thought that was super fun to do that. But I don't know, I kind of wish I did that. That was literally my last semester, so outside of my regular design classes that I took, since I'm a graphic designer myself too. So but yeah, so by the time I was oh man, it's already the semester's over. So,
way back in those days, so you're shooting on film, and you have an exposure range of 6 stops, right?
Mm-hmm.
On film, maybe 3 on slide film, between pure black and pure white. And now digital cameras shoot 12 stops worth of information. So if you're shooting in RAW, which everyone should be shooting in, let me repeat that. If you have the option, you should be shooting in RAW.
So glad you actually utilize that.
I have to get that out there. Yeah, because RAW captures 10-bit color instead of 8-bit color. I don't know if you knew that. So there's billions and billions of colors available instead of just millions and millions, which means that even in your pure blacks, there's probably 20 or 30 levels of pure black. So if you miss your exposure, you can fix it in Lightroom.
Mm-hmm. I was actually going to ask too, what your common tips or pointers and stuff you generally have for photographers or folks getting into it and stuff. So I guess that's obviously one of your main points, but
yeah, the big one is shooting RAW. The other rule of thumb that you need to live by is if you're shooting handheld, your shutter speed should equal your lens focal length, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shooting a 300 millimeter lens, you want 1/300th of a second or faster. So you always want the denominator underneath the fraction for your shutter speed to be higher than the length in millimeters. And what that does is, so if you're shooting 300 millimeters, which is on digital, it's probably an 8x zoom.
Mm-hmm.
The tiniest little shake in your hand translates to a pretty big shake on the end of the lens.
Yep.
What you're trying to do with a very fast shutter speed is not let the camera move that far by the time it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're shooting 1/60th of a second with a 300 millimeter lens and you're handheld, you better be rock solid, because otherwise it's going to be a blurry mess.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're going outside and you're doing handheld stuff with a telephoto lens, you really kind of want to shoot. I try to get to like 800 or a thousandth of a second just to make sure it's tack sharp.
Nice.
Because you can't mess. And the other thing is, of course, if you went to all the trouble to get yourself a nice camera and whatnot, make sure you get decent lenses to put on it, because you know, you want that nice blurry background effect so your pictures look all pretty and artistic. As you can tell, like, you know, webcam like you and I are using here, the background is still perfectly in focus, even though it's 10 or 15 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because the lens is locked at like f11 or f16.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get down to like f4, you get that cinematic look where the background blurs out because it's too far away.
That portrait view.
Yeah, exactly. Which apparently Snapcam, or is that what it's called? Spark? Is it Snapcam? I think it's Snapcam. Can simulate. I don't know how good it is, but
yeah, I know for me, I'm very limited into cameras in general. Like, I have this Logitech one, and because it's a 60 frame camera or webcam, but I bought like another, because I wanted to add like a second one to my setup, but then like it because I use a Mac, it's just not. Technically it was compatible, but it wasn't. Like, I literally couldn't turn off like autofocus, and I'm just like, dude, this is so annoying.
Yeah, that's the first. I have a Logitech 922 also, which is my second camera. And the most annoying thing about it is every time you restart the computer, you have to re-put all the camera settings in.
I have to do that too. For mine.
So here's what I did. There's a filter that you can put in OBS. It's called color grading instead of color correction. And it does more accurate color correction. It's more like Lightroom than just, you know, make it brighter, make it darker, make it brighter, make it darker. And what it allows me to do is, because it gives you more options. What I do is I put the default settings in the camera and just use the color grading to get the look that I want. So that way I can just reset the camera to default, turn off the autofocus, and I'm ready to go. I don't have to bother trying to get every setting exactly where it was. Because, well, that's just annoying.
B, you're trying to kill me, man. I feel like I should have turned that off during the interview. You're denying it? Okay. Just trolling me. So what B just redeemed, because part of my channel points here, where I can have anyone pick any game in my backlog and I'll go through it. Just recently, I was playing through. I don't know if, how familiar you are with all like the Pokemon games, or if you played through any of them. But I was currently doing Gen 3 on Game Boy Advance, and that's like my first time playing through that gen. But what I did, because there's this self-challenge thing called the Nuzlocke, where basically like you'll play through it, you'll capture monsters like in there's like certain restrictions with this self-challenge, and but the whole point of it is, if any of your monsters die or faint, then you have to release them, thus making it like even more challenging. So like, and my run ended horribly on Sunday. So, but yeah. So I mean, I'll do it again next year, B. But I appreciate the the trolling. But yeah, so we were talking about your because you were doing photography in the military, and it's kind of reinvigorated you like up through now. Basically, you've been doing it fairly frequently lately. Like you've been upgrading your gear and stuff. Like what camera do you have, and what's your current gear setup looking like?
I'm shooting with it's actually a beginner level camera, but the image quality is fantastic. It's a Canon M50. And the reason I went Canon is because my previous digital camera, which I bought right after I got out of the Marine Corps, was a Canon Rebel XT, I think. It was one of the first Rebel digital cameras. It's like an 8 megapixel sensor. And I still had decent lenses from that. And they're EF mount lenses, and you can get an adapter to use them on the EFM mount. So I was like, it's going to save me like $500-600 in lenses. So I went with the M50, which also is one of the more recommended cameras for YouTube vlogging and making YouTube videos. The video quality is fairly high. It's got a hot shoe mount for an external microphone. So sometime relatively soon you'll start seeing some of that coming out.
Nice. Yeah, I believe my sister uses a Canon because she's a professional photographer herself.
Okay.
Her and her husband actually. But yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, in the military, I used almost exclusively Nikon gear. But once I started paying for gear on my own, I realized I can't afford Nikon gear, and Canon is much more affordable. And by reputation, their color science and their cameras is much better than Sony or Nikon. So,
yeah, I mean, as long as you especially if you have if you have good lenses and everything else, all the other gear is solid enough, then there's nothing wrong with just going with one of those instead, right?
Yeah, and it's also it's like $500 or $600. I think it was $500 for the body with the kit lens, and for a professional level camera like a Sony, what's the one, Alpha 7S3 that just came out? The body alone is like $4,000.
Wow.
So if you're
it's down payment for this car.
Yeah. If it's still a hobby, maybe start with a lower level camera first. Now, there's some things I don't like about the M50, like professional camera will have a index finger wheel underneath it to control the aperture, and they'll have a thumb wheel to control the shutter speed, which is all touchscreen menus on the M50. So it takes me a lot longer to get set up for a shot than I could do it almost instantaneously with a pro camera and just change for any light source. But the M50 requires you to do a lot of pre-thought. You can't just kind of really whip it out and take a picture unless you're leaving it in automatic mode, which I can't do. I can't.
I mean, you do some videography too, right? So are there any particular projects you've done for that, or any big gigs that you worked doing for videography as opposed to just a photography shoot?
Recently I haven't shot any video as far as outside of promo stuff for the Connection project. We did actually we just did a Streamiversary video for M, and I did a quick shoot for that. But most of the stuff I've been doing lately is I've been relearning Premiere. I haven't used Premiere in many versions, and I actually edited video on Super VHS on an Avid station when I was in the Marine Corps. So I was actually editing tape at that point. So it's been a while since I've actually done any editing. So I've been relearning that skill.
It's been a while.
Been a while.
Yeah, I actually dabbled in Premiere for the first time earlier this year. Once everything started shutting down, and it was I'll make my Twitch trailer. Why not? My buddy who does video, he gave me some tips. He kind of we did some screen sharing things where he kind of showed me where things are. I'm sure if I open it up now, I've completely forgot everything from that. But I actually want to go back and recut it.
Okay.
like to put some of like these like little interview bits, and I have like some more like funnier clips and stuff that I want to use instead, and just do like a different like intro, because like the start of it basically like only really focused on me as like an RPG streamer, but it's like way more than that now. So it's like I really want to like emphasize like, hey, we do all these interviews with content creators now and stuff like that. But yeah. So have you like so you haven't really like shot any like other film stuff outside of it, or like had any like
I have shot some stuff, but it's mostly like test footage, just so I have something to throw around in Premiere. I have a bunch of like B-roll stuff that I'm holding on to use for later, but nothing. I mean, I'm gonna start doing some tutorials type videos for YouTube in the relatively near future that I've shot some of that stuff for, but I haven't shot the primary photography for any of that yet, because well, my work schedule's been kind of a pain in the ass.
Actually, wanted to bring that up to you a little later, but I mean, we can jump into it now too, like just YouTube in general, because on your channel, I remembered you mentioning you wanted to do some like streamer 101 kind of videos to give folks some just some guides, some just some like cool tutorials that they can follow. What do you have like planned specifically for those?
The easy stuff that's only easy once you figure it out, kind of like video encoding settings, what they actually are, why they matter, why you're almost always going to get a better result, like if you use OBS to record your stream while you're streaming.
There you go.
There it is. Get that stroke. Stroke it. Because even though you're putting out a decent signal and the live view of your stream looks good, it takes up a lot of room. I mean, it's a couple gigabytes by the time you download your VOD, so Twitch recompresses it. So your VOD is never going to look as good as the stream actually did. So if you can capture it live, and especially if you have an SSD that can hold a VOD, you can record live at without compressing it too much. And then if you're going to make your highlight videos and whatnot from that, your source material is a hell of a lot better. Other things like I know everyone loves their fancy stream decks, and they are a game changer. They allow you to do a lot of things, but there are other ways to accomplish the same things that we can talk about. Like I was telling you before we got started about, I've got this Logitech G600 mouse it's got 12 buttons on it that you can assign to pretty much anything you want. It's basically a stream deck, and it costs about a fifth of what an actual stream deck costs.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
So, and how to sound balance, how the filters for sound work in OBS and all that kind of stuff. The fun, the good.
A lot of stuff I'm sure I can learn myself. Like this whole streaming thing is, it's still a work in progress for everyone. Like even if no matter how long you've been doing it for, like there's always like something new you can learn, something different you can change to make it sound better.
And I think that the production bar is always rising. Like what the minimum acceptable production value is consistently rising. So you kind of have to stay ahead of that curve. Although I think it's still pretty low. I mean but it's even I've been doing this for 2 years now, and the average stream looks a heck of a lot better than it did when I started streaming.
I don't even want to pull up like my first ones.
Yeah, exactly. Mine were bad too, don't worry. But part of it is that the hardware has matured. There's an industry built up around streaming now, so it's not cobbled together anymore. So it's a lot easier to come up with something that doesn't look like public access television.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So, yeah. So we got that going on.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing those up on your channel. Is that youtube.com/MegaGremlin? No, it's MegaGremlin Media, I think, right? Something like that.
Yeah. If you search MegaGremlin on YouTube, it'll come up. Because I don't actually have enough subscribers at the moment for a custom URL. I think. What do you need? 1,000, I think.
100. It's 100 for custom.
Is it 100?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I'm at like 40 at the moment because, I mean, I have a bunch of videos on there, but they're all marked private.
Just don't want to show them off yet, or they were just like other like test stuff, or
just test stuff, and just me figuring out what the best way to upload stuff to YouTube, because YouTube does the same thing that Twitch does, and when you send something to them, they will recompress it if you're providing too high of a bit rate, or if the file size is too big.
Yeah, thanks, Trevor.
There it is. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
So there's not much on there. There's some test footage for my M50 on there. There's what else is on there? Me going parasailing one day. That's my GoPro that I filmed that way.
I actually watched that yesterday. looked like a real fun trip.
Did I put my my longboarding video on there? I don't know that I did.
Mm-mm.
I don't think I did. I did that.
You get that, and then like a couple tests.
Yeah.
Once you have live.
Yeah, I used to have all my my Mega PI videos on there. You remember those?
Yeah. Well, they're still you still have them highlighted on your channel, right?
No, they're actually marked private at the moment because I may be revisiting.
Ah. The reboot
maybe.
Redux.
Yeah. Maybe,
Like you're gonna like redo it completely, or are you just going to like re-edit them kind of thing?
I will probably do a combination of both, because I still have the Mega PI uniform hanging up about 20 feet away, like just off camera over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I can reshoot some stuff and add it in, because I do have the filters that I used to achieve the noir look. So I should be able to get some reasonably close footage. So we'll see.
Nice, man.
Make it the part of the problem with the Mega PI stuff was that it was kind of too topical.
Mm-hmm.
That some of the stuff we were talking about, because it was all, I would go out and solve a mystery, but it would be like, ultimately I would be talking about Ninja leaving Twitch. Who gives a shit now?
Yeah. So what do you think you're like if you do new episodes?
We'll probably do broader trends,
mm-hmm.
rather than like super like newsworthy
at the time.
Topic. Yeah. And it was an 8-hour production. I'd end up with like 4 minutes of video, and it would take me between writing, shooting, editing, because my editing skills were horrendous at the time as well. So
I was like I said, work in progress, man.
Yeah, exactly. So now I know a lot more about how to use Premiere properly. Like I just learned the coolest thing today, if you're using Premiere.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to download your VOD, right, and edit it in Premiere,
mm-hmm.
the best thing for you to do is to drop the entire VOD in Premiere, immediately export it as an Apple ProRes 422 file, because Premiere can use it natively. So you can scrub through it at full speed, and it just, everything is so smooth.
And it's not like compressed or anything?
Well, I mean, the images are as compressed as the VOD is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
The original image is going to be, but what happens is the VOD has, I forget what the name of there's temporal compression on it, so you don't get a frame, a frame, a frame, a frame. You get a B frame, anything that's changed, anything that's changed, anything that's changed, and a B frame. So if you try to scrub through those, anything that changes, every time you get to one of those frames that's not a B frame, Premiere has to go back to the B frame, do all the interpolation up to the point where you are. But the ProRes file actually creates an individual frame basically for every frame. It does all that interpolation during the creation of the file. So you end up with a much bigger file, obviously, but for editing purposes, much better. You can do speed ramps and scrub backwards and forwards, and you know.
Cool, man. And
I don't know if that's too technical.
Yeah. Well, a little bit, but I can still get a general gist of what you're going. Because I need to play around with Premiere like more myself too. Like it's just, yeah, it was just like that one video I worked on, but because like my buddy who will be moving in with me fairly soon, because he's the one who like was giving me the pointer. So I'm sure like, you know, once he's here, he'll be here, like I can like pick his brain, and you know, maybe then I can maybe do some more like fun stuff, because actually I want to do some stuff just for like YouTube in general too, because I've for the moment I've just been exporting like all these interview episodes. I've been putting them on there for now, but
Gotcha.
but I have some ideas cooking too, and yeah, we'll see. But yeah, and then yeah, we were talking a little bit to you with your design background. Did you do like a lot of like freelance work too, or do you do like freelance work for that too, or is it just like with like everything else you're doing, it's just like not really like in the cards?
Yeah, just I could do freelance work, and it probably would pay pretty well, but then I wouldn't be able to stream because I really only have time for one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
I have in the past done quite a bit for local advertising agencies.
Nice.
And I used to do, I don't know how I got into this niche, but most of the pizza places within probably about 15 miles I've done the menus for at one point or another.
Nice. That's awesome.
So, my claim to fame. Oh yeah, I did the pizza menu here. I did the menu here. I did the menu here.
They just got your contact through like each spot, or did you like... You just like go to this place for pizza, and it's like, hey, do you need a little menu updating? I might know a guy.
There was a guy who had this gigantic Heidelberg press, like the big like newspaper style press that used full size sheets of paper that are, you know, they're huge.
Yep.
And he just started doing restaurant menus, and I got in contact with him, and he liked the menus that I did, so he just kept calling me, and he'd pay me by the job. It's really, you know, I'd estimate by the hour, but like he's printing so many menus that like it really, I could charge just about anything I wanted, and as long as even looked reasonable, he would just pay it. Here you go. So that was a cool deal while it lasted.
That's funny. So do you remember like what your so like the pizza menus and stuff like that was like some of like your first like freelance stuff, or like what do you remember like some of your first gigs?
I did a dealership ad that was kind of cool. I don't remember it exactly. I probably have the art around somewhere, but they originally wanted to buy a full page in a newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
I convinced them to do a quarter page over 4 consecutive pages so I could tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it ended up being really cool.
Nice, man.
Because yeah, and they ended up actually charging them less for the 4 quarter page ads than the 1 full page ad, and gave me, because they were just trying to sell. God, I wish I could remember exactly what it was, but it was one type of new vehicle that was coming out, like the new model line was out, and they just wanted to push that particular one because there were like manufacturer incentives or something. And I was like, well, then why are we gonna, you know, put a picture of a car and then like, you know, 50 paragraphs of text, because you're never going to fill this single full-size page, because the car is wide and the page is tall. So you've got an entire half sheet of paper that you've got to fill with something.
Mm-hmm.
So the quarter-sized ads actually fit the subject matter a lot better, and then we could do, you know, I could do an exterior shot, an interior shot, a dashboard shot, and it worked out pretty cool.
Nice, man.
And they were happy.
Awesome.
And they paid, so you know, that was good too.
Yeah, there you go. Another little endeavor you've been getting into lately that I wanted to bring up. You've been doing some voiceover work, which which I feel is very fitting for you. You got the voice that you know.
Why, yes, sir. Welcome to the KoppsCast with your host, B Kopps.
I should just pull that from this this archive, and then I'll just have that at the start of every stream from now on.
Yeah. I've done let's see, Kizzy654 does a game show on Friday nights that I've done voiceover work for. I have some for Calendori. The Connection Project podcast, I have some in, and I did an audiobook.
Nice. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the audiobook. How do you go about like getting like, do you have to just like submit like a demo? Like, how does that all work out, like, for you to be able to?
So I did mine through Amazon, and they have a website. It's ACX, Alpha Charlie X-Ray. It's the Audiobook Creation Exchange, I think is what it stands for. And what happens is there are a number of ways to do it, but the way my particular thing happened was a publisher of a book, or may have been the author, I think it was a publisher, said, we want to do this book about intermittent fasting. Submit, here's a paragraph of text, submit your read, and we'll tell you if you got the job or not. So I submitted the text. They sent me back an offer. Hey, MD Fitzback.
Welcome back, Em.
Welcome back. And then once they offered the job and I accepted it and I was under contract, they sent the entire document. And there's a bunch of different like time hacks that you have to turn in a certain amount of work. So like you have to do the first the first chapter by a certain date so that they can check to make sure that it's going to be technically okay, like your recording levels are good, you're not too noisy, because Amazon is very, very particular about what they'll accept as an audiobook file. You really have to nail the technical aspects of recording. So I did that, and then I recorded the entire thing, which took a while. I learned some things along the way. One of the main things that I learned, which applies to video as well, is Em is DMing me.
No worries.
One moment, please.
How's everyone in the chat doing? This guy is always good to see you. Jordo, Darren, McFarlane, Mitch, all the friends, Lash. No worries, Em.
So you do, they do the technical test on the first submission, and you have there's crazy things, like there has to be exactly a half a second between your chapter heading I think it's a half a second between your chapter heading and the start of the chapter. And the title and the first chapter, there has to be 2 seconds or something like that. I have it all written down. But it all has to be perfect, so you have to edit it to exactly what they want, or they'll reject it, and they just reject the entire thing. So,
and how many takes did it take you to like get it at like the exact time you needed to?
Well, here's the trick: you edit it that way. So what you do is, if you know you need a half a second, you deliberately leave 2 seconds and then cut it down to half a second later.
Nice.
So then, what was I going to say? Oh, the big trick that I learned. Let me show you. I mean, a lot of people clap, but what I was told is that if you buy yourself a $2.35 dog trainer, right? Every time you make a mistake while you're reading, you just click, and it makes a big spike in the waveform that's very easy to see. So you know where you're taking bad, and you just keep going.
Dude, that's smart.
What happens is, if you stop and try to reset, your read is never the same.
Right.
Because you have to get right back in the same mindset, and you have to stop the file, stop the recording, and then you have to be, oh shit, I screwed up again. And then, you have to mope about that for 45 seconds, and then you start the recording back up, and then you have to make sure that it's actually recording, blah, blah, blah. And by the time you do all that, you've wasted a minute. And if you waste a minute every time you make a mistake recording 500 pages of a book or 300 pages of a book, it's going to be a long day. So you just keep rolling and you put that click in there or you clap every time you make a mistake, and then just go back to the beginning of the sentence that you're on and keep going. And then you can go back in whatever program you're recording with. I used Audacity, which is free.
Yep.
And you can just go right in there and just select the section and delete it. And it's that easy. It's much easier to edit the mistakes out later than it is to start and stop and start and stop. So
that's super smart. Like I never, like usually, yeah. I mean, even doing my like my intro video and stuff for the trailer, like just trying to get that right, or that makes like do something like that would that's super smart.
Yeah, and so with video, I've learned a couple things. Like when I did M's video, which was not that long ago, I just did jump cuts, right? So if I messed up a word or a sentence or something, I just kept going, reread the sentence. Then I did a hard jump cut, which you can see because your body's not lined up exactly the same way.
Mm-hmm.
The trick is, apparently, if you zoom in about 15% where the jump cut is, and then zoom back out to the normal size the next time you have to jump cut, that little bit of motion tricks your brain into not seeing the cut. Because it looks like it's a different camera shot, because you're used to seeing, in a television show, oh, there's this camera, and oh, there's this camera, and oh, there's this camera, and this camera. So you have been trained by, too many years of watching sitcoms.
Yeah.
And that's actually, apparently, partially that's what they do in TV editing as well, is, they'll put a little zoom on it just to cover up where mistakes are.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Reed.
Reed wants to answer some questions.
You got ejected.
What kind of nip are you giving that kid?
The good stuff. The hydro nip.
Yeah, so that was that a short story you did, or a full not book, or what? And which book was it actually?
It is a book about intermittent fasting. I don't know if you know anything about that. It's like I don't want to say it's a diet, because it doesn't really tell you what to eat. It more tells you when to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
And the whole thing behind intermittent fasting is the human body evolved around scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
So there weren't supermarkets. There weren't, basically when you found food, you ate it, and you ate a lot of it because you didn't know when you were going to find food again, and your body just had to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So part of the problem is that we eat constantly now. And one of the hormones that your body releases whenever you eat is insulin. And, it's to deal with blood sugar and keep you from having too much or not enough, or, it's tightly regulated. But the other thing that insulin does is it allows you to store body fat. So when you eat something, there's really only three things your body can do with it. It can absorb it and use it, it can absorb it and store it, or it can excrete it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you eat a bunch of stuff and you don't use it, and insulin is present, it gets stored, because your body doesn't know when the next time you're going to get food is, because it's set up for there not being supermarkets in the world. If you eat five Milky Ways, 5 Mars bars, your body isn't smart enough to know that 2,000 years have gone by, and well, now you can get another Mars bar pretty much anytime you want.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can regulate how much insulin your body exposes itself to, the amount of fat that you store tends to be less. So the intermittent fasting thing is you do a period where you eat and a period where you don't eat. And so normally you'll hear people say 16 and 8, right? So 16 hours they will not eat a thing, anything of caloric value, right? So you can have water, you can have black coffee, you can have anything that doesn't have more than about 5 calories. And when you get to your 8 hours, when you're allowed to eat, you eat a full day's amount of whatever your normal calorie allowance is. If you're, if you're a 6'2", 220-pound, 25-year-old male, you're probably going to eat 2,000 calories, but you have to do it in 8 hours. And here's the funny part. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're eating absolute junk, it is difficult to consume 2,000 calories in 8 hours just because of the sheer volume.
Just one trip to McDonald's,
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, three Big Macs. But what happens is there's another hormone called ghrelin, which is a terrible name. I don't know why they named it that. But the only real thing that ghrelin does is it tells you that you're hungry. That hungry feeling, like you have that distracting gut ache, starving feeling, that is your brain in the presence of ghrelin. And what happens is as you continue to do intermittent fasting regularly, you will only release ghrelin during your 8-hour windows after a while. So during the 16 hours, you won't even be hungry anymore. The first week or two you do it, it's brutal. Like it really is an act of will to convert yourself to intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get into it, it gets easier and easier, and eventually you'll be doing 24-hour fasts, and it's actually very, very effective. Especially, they say, and then the doctor quoted in the book says that it is effective in people who are pre-diabetic, pre-type 2 diabetic, in controlling their blood sugar. So they recommend that prior to medication.
Right. And how big of a book was? Like, how many pages did you have to read through?
This one wasn't huge. So the thing about doing audiobooks is to get the 1,000-page Stephen King books, you need a reasonably decent body of work. You can't just audition for those.
Jump into it, yeah.
You need a resume.
Yeah.
So the way to get the resume is to go do like the 2-hour books that the real voice artists won't do, because it's only going to pay like $100. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you do it basically. It's like trying to get a SAG card, where you just need credits to be able to actually get the real work. So what you do is you when you go onto the ACX website, you actually look for books that are under 2 hours in length until you can build up enough credits to then
do like a big book that you want to do.
Yeah. So that's about where I am right there. I haven't really launched into a major career. I'm not reading Terry Pratchett books or anything anytime soon.
But it's so cool that you're like starting to get into that, and like I said, you got the voice for it, so like it makes sense, So it was just that one book, and do you have like another one lined up, or do you have like any?
I completed that book right before everything shut down. I completed it, got paid, got an email that they would let me know when they were going to publish it, and then never heard from them again once everything shut down. So I don't even know if the book has ever been released. So
that's a bummer.
Yeah. So there's two ways to get paid too with the ACX. You can either take a flat rate up front, or you can take a royalty, and they now have a hybrid version as well, where you get a smaller flat rate and a smaller percentage.
Okay.
So most of the 2-hour books, they're like $50 to $100 flat rate. So, and it's generally, well, for me, I did that. I think it ended up being like an hour 45, something like that. I don't even know if it was that long. I don't really remember because it was in March, but it took me like 6 or 8 hours to do it.
Wow. Most
of that being because it was the first time I had done it, I just was not efficient at all. Like by the time I figured out that just continuing to record and not starting over, I probably wasted 3 hours just trying to figure that all out. And then, the last half of the book probably took me a quarter of the time.
So, I mean, it's just part of the learning experience for you, and I'm sure like this next one will go even smoother for you, and then the next one you do even smoother than that, and then Yeah, then once you're ready to move on to like a big novel, then it's just gonna be a
You know,
piece of cake for you, right?
that Zig Ziglar quote, you don't have to be good to start, but you have to start to be good.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
so. Well, I mean, it's kind of like streaming, you know, like anything new you start, you're going to suck at.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are definitely people in the world who, you know, hit go on Twitch the first time and they're superstars from day one, but the vast majority of us have to learn how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like any other creative skill,
Yep.
you know?
So still learning, man. Still learning.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and it's good. The nice thing about Twitch is the part when you really suck, nobody's watching anyway, so who cares?
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. You know, I've had plenty of those. Just you know, playing for myself or just for one buddy, and you know,
Yeah.
but you know that's part of it. And then I wanted to get into that with you a little later with Twitch discussion. But one more thing in regards to like your voiceover work stuff. Would you ever consider doing like radio stuff or like commercial stuff? Like, do you ever like consider doing something like that?
Yeah, I definitely would. Radio voiceovers would be fantastic. I think my voice is actually. So I'm not so much a voice actor. I've got more of an announcery voice. So when I was doing the book, I really had to concentrate on being conversational. Because if you put a microphone in front of my face, all of a sudden I want to be, you know, like Casey Kasem or. Well, here at the KoppsCast. You know, it's hard for me to not do that from hearing so many years of pop radio.
Yeah.
So it would definitely be more natural and easy fit for me to do radio announcement type stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, and like I used to do, if you remember, I don't know if you were ever present for one of the Club Mega streams.
I don't believe so.
No. So for a very, very short period of time, I was doing remixes and stuff like that, and then deleting the VODs, just because, you know, everyone needed somewhere fun to go because everyone had been on lockdown for a month or 6 weeks at that point. So I was like, you know what, if Twitch is gonna suspend me, then they can suspend me, but we're gonna have some damn fun and pretend we're going out. So that was a lot of fun picking, you know, playlists and stuff like that. So yeah,
being your own radio DJ.
Yeah, would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
And I was talking to Doc Buglove for a little while about maybe doing some of that.
Is he involved in radio? Or
Yeah, he I don't know if you know the 102 DLG Radio Orlando. They've got a Twitch channel as well as an internet radio station.
Nice.
So
that's cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. You know, the more avenues for you to try that out, the better, man. Right. Seriously.
yeah. So yeah, that would be fun. I just, you know, at the moment my schedule is what it is. It just really is what it comes down to. There's a lot of other stuff I'd like to explore. I just you know, prioritize my stream above that as far as the time I have to myself outside of work.
Yeah, man. And you know, speaking of Twitch, you know, you've been prominently you know, on the rise. You've been growing your own little community over there. You're part of a great one with M, with Dory, with all the folks associated with the Discord Boys / Connection Project. That whole group of friends, and it's been awesome seeing you part of that. I remember you mentioned, because I feel like you've gotten this question like so many times, like what got you into streaming in general, and I always remember you mentioning how, I think it was like you mentioned how you had like surgery, it was like jaw surgery or something, and then you stumbled across Janelle Wheeler.
Yeah,
you came across her channel, and so that was basically what got you to want to get into it. Like, or were you like, did you like check Twitch out before, or like how did?
So if you know Delbrock or Make Mistakes, who is the same person, he tried to get me to watch Twitch. He and his wife have been watching GTA 5 roleplay for years, way before it was like a big thing a year or so ago. And he tried to get me to watch that, and I just didn't get Twitch. Like, you know, I was of the whole, why the hell would I watch someone play a video game when I could play it myself mentality.
Yep. The common Twitch initial reaction.
That is the problem with Twitch, is that there's really no way to. It's an experience that you can't explain.
Yeah.
You know, you can say, okay, it's like a TV show, normally about video games, but it talks to you, and everyone watching can talk to each other. It just doesn't translate. So I didn't really get it. So years go by, and I end up having a major surgery on my jaw. I had half my jaw removed and replaced with titanium.
Right? That's crazy.
So I was recovering. The crazy part is they did it from inside my mouth. So there's no external scarring. There's one screw hole right in front of my ear that you can't even really see anymore, which I don't know how they did it. I'm glad they did it, but
I mean, it worked out, man.
Yeah. So I'm sitting at home recovering. I'm half out of my gourd on painkillers. I'm laying on the couch, trying not to think about the fact that I have to eat soup yet again, because I was on a liquid diet for months.
Yeah.
While I was waiting for the titanium to integrate into the bone. You know, basically I didn't really have a jaw until it fully set. So I'm eating my soup. I'm laying on the couch. I'm, you know, high as a kite really on these painkillers.
Yeah.
You know, like the room is hazy, the whole bit. And I'm not liking what's on TV. And somehow the remote had gotten to the far side of the coffee table. And I looked at it for I don't know, what felt like a couple of minutes. It could have been 10 seconds. It could have been 3 hours. I have no idea. And I decided that it was just too far away to be bothered.
Yep.
And that I was just kind of stuck watching what was on TV. And then I realized my laptop is much closer. So I grabbed my laptop and I threw it on my lap. And thankfully it was all plugged in and nice and charged up. And I threw it on my lap, and and I don't know why, because I didn't have a bookmark saved for Twitch. But I just remembered the conversation with Delbrock. I was like, hey, what about that Twitch thing? And I don't even know how I remembered that it was called Twitch at that point. Something just popped out of my brain. I typed it in, and I forget who the first one. It was one of the top tier streamers though. It was like Ninja or Dr. Disrespect, may have been Shroud. And I watched it for, 15, 20 minutes. I was like, yeah, this really isn't for me. And then, I just started clicking through a couple different channels that were like, I don't even remember how it was set up. I had
whatever was featured, basically.
Yeah, and I ended up in Janelle Wheeler's stream and started chatting with Calendori and Jimbo JP, and we're having a grand old time in there. And she was the first streamer that I watched who actually really interacted with the community. And because she I don't know how much you've watched her, but she pretty much reads every line of chat. That's awesome. That was like a revelation to me. And then all our mods are talking to me, I'm talking to them, and people in the chat are talking to each other, and there's side conversations going on, and it was pretty amazing. And how I was following it all at that point, I really don't know, but I was, and it was cool. And then, I went back the next day when I wasn't taking painkillers so much, and then I went back the next day, and then that channel was my first channel that I subbed to. And then about 2 weeks after that, I couldn't really speak yet, but I had already decided I was going to stream and started buying equipment. Like I got a Yeti, I got a web camera, I got the Logitech 922 that I have up here. And I actually put them together on my laptop and did a couple test streams of me playing Divinity Original Sin 2.
Nice.
With ended up being with no cam. I don't remember if I spoke or not because I could barely speak at that point. Side of my face was all like blown up.
Yep.
And then, yeah, as soon as I could reasonably speak, I started doing streams, and been doing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday pretty much ever since until COVID hit, and then I had to drop the Tuesday. But
yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome.
Thought planted by Delbrock, and then just the randomness of the world. I happened to get a tumor in my jaw, and it led to here, and here we are.
Yeah, that's funny that you met Dory and Jimbo. You met anyone else through her channel too?
Pretty much the original. What were the original Discord boys were all Janelle's mods. So the nucleus for Discord boys, which turned into later the Connection Project.
Small world.
Yeah. Once we outgrew that.
Yeah.
And well, it's kind of silly to call yourself Discord boys when there's 50% women.
But yeah, that's awesome, man. And were there so she was like your main influencer? Were there like other streamers that also kind of push you too, or that kind of were that inspired you, or continue to inspire, or that continue to keep you to wanting to keep like upgrading your setup and just ways to improve your what you got going?
Yeah, well, actually, most of Janelle's mods were also all streamers. So we all became pretty tight that way pretty early on, and we're all kind of helping each other, and so that happened. Really, my Twitch experience from the get-go was very community driven, because that's what actually kept me on the platform, because otherwise it was dudes playing video games that I didn't care about. Because the things that I didn't get about Twitch were exactly what I stumbled into with the first 3 or 4 people I watched.
Yep. So you had the prime idea of like what you should be doing, like right off the get-go, basically.
Yeah, because as soon as I saw Janelle stream, I was like, this is what the platform is for. Yes, playing the video games is cool, and there's definitely value in it if the interactivity of the platform is respected. Because otherwise, why not watch a YouTube video?
Yeah.
If I want to watch a Mega Man speedrun, I'll go watch the perfect version that's your 14th take, and not but if you're going to talk to me and we can have a conversation, and then I'm much more interested, and that really formed the basis of my experience on Twitch. That's what I'm here for, and that's a lot of what I do on my channel.
Nice, man.
Except when I get too into my game.
So you started streaming, you started getting the ball rolling, like once you were fully healed and stuff, and then then I'm sure from there that's when you like started to really like upgrade, like update the look of like the setup and everything. What were your like initial challenges right away?
So major things I would have not done is I would not have bought a USB mic off the get-go. Because I find that being able to monitor your own voice, although I know a lot of streamers say, oh, I hate hearing my voice, I don't want to hear my voice, but being able to monitor your voice in real time gives you so much information about what's going on with your stream that you really need. It makes a huge difference. I don't know that so I started off with the Blue Yeti, and my first mic after the Blue Yeti was the SM7B. I don't know that I necessarily would have made that big of an upgrade. I probably would have started with an XLR mic and mixer, but it probably would have been a less expensive. There's a gigantic cat shadow on the wall behind me.
So she's gonna pounce on you.
Dear Lord, I have angered the cat gods.
But yeah, so
oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you can finish in regards to like things that you that were other challenges for you.
Short upgrades. The Stream Deck, the original Stream Deck that I got was a big upgrade. That was great. Tell you one of the bigger upgrades that I've had is switching from Streamlabs to OBS. Although I would tend to recommend Streamlabs to new streamers because it does kind of hold your hand.
Yeah.
There is an overhead tax to that. It is much more sluggish than OBS is. But I think it's a good starting point because it does most of the things that you need for you.
And it has like chat and everything else like already built in there. So just all your alerts and everything like.
Yeah, the widgets are pretty much built in, although I think they've changed that to more of a web-based platform now. But when I was using it, everything was built into Streamlabs OBS. Yeah, and I've just been refining everything I do ever since. I think the audio upgrades were big. I know there's a school of thought that people click on your link for the video and they stay for the audio. So, if they come in and your audio is a screechy mess, they're not going to stay very long.
Yeah.
So, especially because most of what we do is talking head stuff, your video is really not that dynamic. So it has to look good enough to get people in the door. And then your content and audio has to hold them.
Right.
So that is the school of thought. I kind of buy that. I've seen that. So I think the audio upgrades were kind of a big deal. I did that.
There you go, Darren.
Yeah. Why don't you make creepy noises when you do that?
So moral of your story. I should get rid of my Blue Yeti. Is what you're saying?
So the audio quality of the Blue Yeti is pretty good actually. It's not bad. It's a large capsule, so it does do a pretty good job of capturing audio. It's just very limited in that you can't hear what's actually going out to the stream, like you can with a mixer.
Right.
Because if I apply effects to my voice right now, I can actually hear them happening. So if I turn on, my Darth Vader voice, I'm not going to forget that it's on because I can hear it. I'm not going to do a 2-hour stream all in Darth Vader or worse, Chipmunk. It also will tell you if you are clipping. If your gain is too high, you can't hear it with a USB mic. Yeah. You just have to wait until someone in your chat says, "Jesus, you sound like you're in a drive-through."
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for me, like a lot of my testing was just like, during the time where like no one was tuning into me and I was just kind of listening in, doing it that way. But I just like had it down to a science. But I don't know. I've had a lot of this gear, and Darren, thank you for the host, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I just realized that wasn't hosting.
But a lot of this gear I've had for like years at this point. I just been reluctant to upgrade again for the time being. But
if what you have works, once you got to set up the problem, it's just much harder to set up a USB mic and get quality sound out of it because you have to record it and play it back to actually hear it, which makes it more difficult. It's not impossible. And OBS sound filters are actually not bad. I like the compression, like hardware compression for audio a lot better than the software compressor on OBS, but it does a decent job. So you're going to get a decent sound because ultimately Twitch only allows you to put out so much bandwidth for audio anyway. So it's not like you're putting out a 320, hertz or kilohertz sample rate or anything. We're putting out MP3 quality audio, so yeah, it only has to be so good. It just has to be dynamic, which, like I said, the Yeti mics put out a decent audio signal. It's just hard to hear what you're doing.
Right, yeah.
And like if you're playing music and you can't hear your own audio, like you have no idea what you're playing.
Yep.
You're on Twitch, you're chatting, your voice is your instrument. It's the same thing.
That's me whenever I play games, because my the way that my setup is with my capture card, because my Elgato HD60, it has a delay, which so I have to put a delay on the mic and the camera, and I have to plug in like right now I'm plugged into the computer so I can hear, like, because I have like music going right now, and so I can hear you. But when I'm doing a game stream off through my capture card, my headphones are basically plugged into my TV that I'm like watching. So I can't hear alerts, I can't hear like any notifications.
Gotcha.
So I have like multiple Streamlabs windows up, so I can so I make sure so I don't miss it.
Yeah.
So it's a pain in the ass, but once I upgrade to a PC, then I'm sure that will. I won't have to do it.
Yeah.
That, and then I'll probably have to upgrade the capture card too, because I think the HD60S is
it's much faster.
There's no not as big of a delay compared to that.
Yeah, so. It's like 20 milliseconds or something tiny.
Yeah. But
that's actually what I have. I have an external for a 60S external for game capture, and my camera is actually going into a 60 Pro.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I'm using a Sony Action Cam as a webcam, just because it's a little wider angle.
Nice. Yeah, so you started your channel, and I mean, you've had your MegaGremlin handle for quite a while, and you've given the story of how you came up with that name, which I believe was Xbox Live. You had that as your username through that. Like, but did you have like Gremlin or MegaGremlin like as like a nickname or something, like, or that was just like your gamer tag that you wanted, and then it just kind of went from there?
So way back in the BBS days, which predates the World Wide Web, you used to have to dial into one computer. This is like pre-AOL even, like, so you dial into one computer that had message boards about one topic, and you would use a handle then, and my handle back then, and we're talking like 1989, 88 maybe, was Gremlin.
Funny enough.
I had a 1200 baud modem, and I thought I was cool. So when Xbox Live rolled around, now I signed up for Xbox Live the day it went live, and Gremlin was already taken. And I was pissed about that, and I decided that should I ever run into this Gremlin bastard, I would let him know which one of us was better. I had a delivery with special stuff. Look at this. Don't be jealous.
Ooh. Please share.
I will describe them as I eat them slowly.
Can M drop off me some Reese's too?
I mean, it's going to be about 6 hours, but sure.
I think she actually posted about like why Reese's was like the best candy or something, and then I pointed out because my favorite is actually Reese's Fast Break. I don't know if you're a fan of Fast Break with like the nougat in there too. Yeah.
Say it again. Nougat.
Yeah, so you got your MegaGremlin handle, and
so
stuck with that ever since.
Xbox, which is like I want to say November 2001-ish. That's a guesstimation. So yeah, I started then, and when I came over to Twitch, I made my account like years before I started streaming too. So I just used my Xbox Live handle when I made my Twitch account, and then on that fateful day when I logged in, it was and I remembered the password for some reason. I don't even know how that's possible. This whole Twitch thing was really lodged in there.
Yeah. So
I logged in to Twitch and had already created an account with MegaGremlin, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stream with that because everyone knows me that way. So my buddy Grimthim, I was his best man for his wedding.
Nice.
A couple of years ago, and we did a LAN party for his bachelor party.
Nice.
Yeah, had a pole barn. We set up long conference tables and put out network drops for everybody and
TVs
played video
everywhere,
games
and
for like 24 hours.
dude, LAN parties were the shit, dude. Just like cables like all through the house. Just like a TV in every room. Everyone's
Hell yeah,
playing against each other.
So, but as part of like the party gifts, we had jerseys made for everybody with their gamer tag on them. So, which was kind of cool. We
Nice.
did it Custom Ink, I think. CustomInk.com, I think, did them, and they put individual names on every shirt. It was kind of cool. Worked
Nice.
out pretty well. So everyone pretty much has known me as MegaGremlin for at least since 2001. Like guys I work with that I played like Rainbow Six Vegas with knew me as MegaGremlin. So I figured we should just continue the tradition, and and here we are.
Nice. Trav mentioned part of the worked up the nerve for like 3 years to stream squad. Hell yeah, buddy.
There it is.
And Tech, welcome in, buddy. Welcome to you as well. Hope you're doing fantastic. Happy to have you guys here.
Absolutely.
Cobble crew in full swing of swag dads tonight. Nice.
The old men of Twitch.
But yeah, so speaking of your channel too, you do a good variety of stuff. You do your gaming on there, mostly a lot of modern stuff has come out. You do some older titles here and there sprinkled in.
Yeah.
But you do a lot of just chatting. You do a lot of stuff where you're, just being active with the community, and you've even been doing some like photo editing stuff on there too. Make mistakes.
Yeah.
Thank you for the host.
Hey,
Appreciate
speak
it.
of the devil. There he is. He brought me to Twitch and told me the first one was free.
But yeah, so you do the good variety of stuff over on your channel, and if you want to get into that and just like talk about like everything that you do, and a lot of the focus that you currently got for it.
So let's see. I mean, I started off doing mostly single player story driven games. I started off did Witcher 3. That was the first one I streamed beginning to end. Did Spider-Man, did God of War, did of course Horizon Zero Dawn.
All fantastic.
Which is still one of my favorites. Playing my way through the remaster now on my my non-streaming time.
Nice.
Let's see, what else have I played through? Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
I played through most of until I got annoyed with the self-destructing weapons. The itemware just got on my nerves.
Mm-hmm. You're doing some Final Fantasy VII Remake for a little bit too.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake, although I don't have the PS4 hooked up at the moment because I did. We got the new PC set up, and in getting everything put together, I had to break down the PS4 and the. So I haven't reconnected it yet, but yeah, I still got to finish Final Fantasy VII Remake as well. I just love that game. But I mostly played single player games for the reason that it's easier for me to stop and pay attention to what chat is talking about. Like if you're playing I have had streams where I played Apex and Call of Duty just because sometimes you're just in the mood, and you got to go where the mood strikes you, because if you're not having fun, why would you ask anyone to come in and not have fun with you? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So sometimes if you just need to shake it up a little bit, I'll go off and do something I don't normally do for a stream or two, just to shake the cobwebs out. And so I've played a couple first-person shooters on stream. Did a little bit of Borderlands 3 for a while.
Nice.
But now my new obsession is Star Wars Squadrons, because I have loved dogfight kind of simulators since way back.
Mm-hmm.
I played the hell out of X-Wing. I played the hell out of TIE Fighter. I played the hell out of X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Every variation thereof.
Mm-hmm.
My true love in the world, though, like the game that I will stop all other things for, is mech combat of pretty much any stripe. I
Ah.
played Mech Warrior, Mech Warrior 2. I built out a rig for Mech Warrior 2, like you wouldn't believe. Like I had bass amps and stuff to shake the ground. And
Speaking of mech games, because you had Xbox, did you have Steel Battalion with that crazy like freaking like
no, I
double
never,
joystick controller with pedals and stuff?
The
At 40.
controller alone was like $200.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that one I had a problem with just because I don't know. I just didn't think it worked on the standard definition televisions at the time. I played what was it? Steelhound, I think, on the Xbox. It was like a release title for the Xbox 360, maybe. All the what was the other mech series? Mech Commander I played. I played Mech Warrior 3, Mech Warrior Online. I play occasionally, and let's see. Yeah, like mech games, it's definitely my weakness, and space flight simulators.
Nice.
Absolutely love. Like I also like Elite Dangerous, but I think that watching someone play Elite Dangerous is like watching paint dry. Nothing happens for long periods of time.
Did you ever try out Zone of the Enders, the Kojima series?
Yeah, that was a PS2 game, right?
Yeah.
Which was more kind of arcadey.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Mech Combat, loved it.
Cool.
But definitely that is I will stop whatever I'm doing whenever either a mech game or a space combat game comes out, because it's just how I'm wired. Now that Squadrons is out, I hope that they support it for a while, because I think it's my new obsession.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I also do a lot of just chatting. I think it's my most streamed category by several hundred hours, probably.
Wow.
And did I play Demon Ex Machina? No, I don't know that one. Mech Assault, that's the one I was trying to think of. I will have to check that out though. Demon Ex Machina.
I think that's fairly recent, right, Trav? But yeah, I haven't really played too many mech games in general. Like I think there was like a I don't know if you play like a lot of like the Gundam games at all. Like I think they did some like Dynasty Warriors ones, but with Gundams. Like I don't know if you like were into some of those. Like even though that's more arcadey, obviously, but
yeah. No, it still counts.
Yeah.
Still scratches that itch.
Yeah.
And I actually prefer like the Mech Warrior style, where it's much more simulatory, where you get to
just blow everything up.
And yeah, Mech Warrior 5 just came out not too long ago, and it was not particularly good.
Yeah, so like you said, you're doing a lot of just chatting stuff, and I mean, I'm trying my best to do a lot more of that. Just keep chat going, keep the channel engaging as it can be. I mean, that was definitely a struggle for me, like at the for the longest time, and even talking with you, talking with M, just really like you guys were always just like hammering down just like how important that is in general and stuff, and
even if you're not a just chatting streamer, I still recommend for anyone who doesn't feel comfortable talking to chat to spend at least an hour per stream in just chatting and not have a net. Just get used to having to like feel the seconds go by when you're not sure what to talk about for a minute. And then you can go back and watch the VOD and realize that the 35 minutes you thought you didn't say a word was actually 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So I think it's valuable practice. I know the weird thing about being a streamer is that all your practice is live and recorded.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think it's an essential skill to take advantage of the benefits of the platform. So, it behooves any streamer really to spend some time in just chatting. And you know, I happen to enjoy it, which makes it helpful.
Yeah, definitely. Em's yelling at me to talk to her.
Oh, talk to me, Brian. Talk
Thank you.
to me.
Thank you for that shout out to Em again. Like I said earlier, just please give her a follow over there. She's awesome.
Oh, you can
She's
play as
killing it.
Geralt from The Witcher. Geralt in a mech. Sold.
I've still never played Witcher 3 yet. Everyone's, or any Witcher game. A lot of my buddies are like really like nagging at me to to give it a shot. 200 hours is a little much for me at the moment to fully dive into. So
That's weird because Mega never seems to like talking to me. Oh, jeez. Oh,
all the sad emails.
I'll talk to you. You brought me Reese's. You're definitely buying yourself some talk minutes.
But yeah, do you have outside of especially like that advice that you and Em had, especially like just doing your best to engage with your community, like I said, doing just chatting when you can, even for a little bit, because that's what like I'm trying to do. Like I'll do that for like an hour before I jump into a game, and then I'll have like a specific day where I'll just like hang out with everybody, just talk about whatever, catch up with folks. Do you have like other outside of like maybe like community stuff, like other ways or other suggestions to to keep the engagement going?
I think part of the thing, like new streamers especially, kind of miss about Twitch is, they come from the, and I know, we're kind of a bit removed in time from this, but there's still kind of a, I'm going to be really good at a video game and I'm going to turn into ninja kind of appeal to Twitch for some people. And, it's kind of the seeking instant fame, kind of, they want to get something from the platform mentality that neglects the fact that Twitch is in fact a social platform. So if you're not socializing on the platform, you're not going to go anywhere.
Right.
Because the main benefit of Twitch is that it's a social platform. So if you're not getting involved with people and you're not, interested in what people are doing, in the chat as well as other streamers, you're not providing value really. You're just asking and you're not providing. So I think that the thing that you have to figure out pretty quickly is the more you're genuinely involved in building relationships with people, the more you're going to get out of it. I mean, I'm not saying you're necessarily going to go from streaming to 3 people to 5,000 simply by building real relationships, but you're going to have real relationships. So
I just got to interrupt you for 1 second. Mel, thank you so much for that raid with a party of 9. Welcome in, everybody. Mel, Cosmocordia, Web Tomato, good to see you. Hey. How's it going, everybody? Welcome. This is your first time here. Happy to have you. I'm KoppsCast. I primarily will play some RPGs on here. Good variety of other games too. And here every other week, we have different content creators on for a little chat, a little discussion. This week, we got my good buddy MegaGremlin here. Another fantastic streamer and great content creator. You should go check him out on his channel. And yeah, Mel, thank you again so much for that. And yeah, definitely thank you, Trav, for that shout out. Definitely check him out over there. Yeah, how'd your stream go, man? Hope it was good. Really, yeah, really appreciate you bringing folks over. Welcome all all raiders. Pixel, welcome as well. Retro Resurrection, you were in here as well. Good to see you as well, my friend. How's it going? Yeah, he has a MegaGremlin. I mean,
don't feed it after midnight, all right?
Great, gonna go grab dinner. Have a good. All right, appreciate the lurk, man. And yeah, thank you again for that raid. And like I said, give Melatonin a follow over on his channel over there. But yeah, pleasure to see all of you. And we were just for those of you that are just coming in, we were just discussing Mega's Twitch channel and just talking community engagement.
Mm-hmm.
That part of it. Actually, I wanted to one of the things I wanted to bring up in general with you as well, because I mean I've mentioned it so many times. Pretty much like anytime you either like raid into the channel, anytime you pop in, I always am incredibly grateful for all the advice you've given me, especially in regards to community building and just like how important, how critical that is if you want your channel to grow and stuff like that. And but yeah, like if you want to like even get into that, like some like the most like important aspects like outside of what we were going into earlier, of just like of being like engaging with as engaging as you can with like everyone in general.
Yeah, I mean, again, it goes back to it being a social platform. You can't not be social with people and expect any kind of growth.
Mm-hmm.
So like I know a year ago, even I guess 13 months ago or so,
mm-hmm.
you were expressing some frustration. That I mean, how long had you been streaming at that point? It was a while, right?
I mean, I was all right. So I was on and off since like 2015,
Okay.
And it was mostly like did like a few here and there, and then stopped here and there, stopped. Then I think I started taking it seriously in 2018. Did it on like a regular basis. Then I took like a long break again, and then I think by the time I met you was when I was like full on in again, and like I've pretty much been like consistent ever since.
Okay.
So yeah, and because you mentioned you were part of like Janelle Wheeler's channel, so like you understood like that whole like community aspect in general, where like I should have known better. I should have like joined like some other channels just to like get the gist of it, and I kind of missed the point of it until like I met you and joined in on like so many other communities, like hopped in Discords. I mean, I was in some Discord servers. Like I have some buddies that other content creators that I was like supporting them, and but still I kind of, so with Twitch in general, I just completely like didn't quite get it to say the least. And but then you kind of like really put in my mind like you really need to be setting days where you're hanging out in like all these channels, like just make more free time. And I mean, essentially that's what I've been doing. Like I only stream 3 days a week, and then like all my other days now I'm just popping into as many channels as I can and supporting like all my friends on here now. And it just how realizing like how important like that aspect is, and just showing love to other folks, and it just because it's one, especially like once you all become like one community together, like that makes it like so much more satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, exactly. To have people who are actually excited about what you're doing and supportive.
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes it, because everyone's gonna have days where frankly you're just not feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
And you hit go anyway, and you come on because you promised people you'd be there, and then they're excited to see you, and then all of a sudden you're having a great time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, oh God, I have to hit go because I said I would be here, and there's going to be 3 people here who don't talk, and just going to be staring into the void for 3 hours and then depressed because nothing happened. You have people who genuinely care to see you, and it makes all the difference in the world. And I think a lot of newer streamers also make the mistake of not realizing that the actual stream itself is the tip of the iceberg.
Mm.
And that if you are spending too much time streaming, especially when you're newer, you're not taking care of all the rest of the iceberg, which is, meeting people.
Yep.
And because you have to remember, you're asking people to take 2 or 3 hours out of their life, whatever else they're doing, whatever else they want to do, step away from Netflix, their phone, everything else, and spend their time with you. So you have to, have their trust that you're not going to waste their time.
Exactly. And Talking America, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well.
And you earn that trust by returning the favor, by valuing their time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's my soapbox.
Exactly. And then pretty much once I had that talk with you,
Mm-hmm.
I just went on a spree of just looking through other smaller communities, smaller channels. I say this all the time too. Came across my buddy Modest Millhouse, who because he was playing my favorite game at the time, this game Chrono Cross, which
Good game.
Which inevitably I end up meeting a lot of people who played that game through here. So, so met him, and then inevitably met BE. I met Jordan. I met Mitch. Then we all were hanging out on all each other's channels and going from there. Then eventually meeting more and more folks that we're either just starting out and kind of brought them in, and now we're all hanging out in their channels now too. And so it's just one big certain obviously hanging out with you on your channel, of course. A lot of all the friends, it's just it's just, and then I'm just at the point now where if I end up missing a day, now I have guilt, because because I'm so accustomed, especially especially during these crazy times where we're mostly stuck inside anyway, so it's we just, all I want to do is hang out with a lot of the friends on here, and so just way of just keep sharing the love. And
and it's not something you can really fake, because people know when you're not being genuine about your interest. You know what I mean? So you get some people who think that, if I just pop into a bunch of streams, then all of a sudden they're gonna start following me, and it's not about that. You're kind of putting the cart before the horse. You have to have a genuine interaction with somebody before you can expect them to be, a solid community member. Or you have to become a solid community member before the community will come check out what you're doing, really, is a better way to put it.
Right.
So, and since you started doing that, is it working out for you, or?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say so. Like I said, just met so many awesome folks, and it's just been a blast ever since. And if I didn't have that talk with you, like I said, I probably would have stopped. But like I said, I'm always grateful for you, buddy. So,
Hey, happy it worked out. I mean, it was great that we found you. Love having you around, man. Seriously. I mean, I hope nobody minds that we're having a love fest here, but it is what it is. It's 2020. You're gonna have to get used to it.
I mean, what's wrong with just all the love all around? Nothing wrong with that.
And you've done some graphic upgrades since then, and
a little bit.
Yeah, well, tweaks really.
Yeah. I've had. I've actually been thinking of kind of redoing the logo and tweaking that, but I don't know, I might give it a little more time before I decide to do like a full like rebrand kind of thing. But I don't know. But like otherwise, like for for tweaking the graphics for like from when I started doing this, like I mean this was like a big goal for me this year, because I really wanted to keep changing things up and be more engaging with the community, and then but also like just trying different things in general, and like these conversations with content creators, these have been like some of the most fun things for me, like just like especially like a lot of these first ones where I'm mostly just like catching up with friends or just having these long talks with friends and just letting the community be a part of it, and it's a blast, man. Like seriously, like
what are your big takeaways so far? We're on number 13 here, so you got to have a couple big takeaways by now, right?
The big takeaways?
Yeah. What are your memorable things that like really stick with you
from all the interviews?
From doing the KoppsCast, yeah. And can I say, as a fellow designer, I really appreciate your sticking to one font.
I mean, you don't want to have it clashing, I don't know. Biggest takeaway. McDonald's is a big takeaway. How you doing, buddy? I don't know. Like, I feel like it just even 13 conversations in. I don't know. Like, I want to say it gets easier the more you do it. I mean, it does in a sense, but at the same time, like, because I think I mentioned it to you before we went live, like it's still a learning experience. Like I'm still getting used to it. Like I'm still, I mean, I'm obviously not the best public speaker. I'm not like, this is maybe not so much a big strong suit for me, but but it was still something I wanted to try. I wanted to give an honest shot.
Yeah.
Just something that could maybe like, help me a little bit too, like just to, just to keep conversations going, and it's in, that's I guess that's like a main thing for me, I guess. Just just still learning, still still getting used to it, and just trying to get to still trying to get a little more comfortable through each one, and then maybe once I get to a point where I've done so many of these, and then I won't even have that mindset anymore, where it's just like just without a hitch,
So what do you think, like how is your goal with the KoppsCast going to evolve? Let's say, like, what are you going to be trying to get out of episode 50? Like I know now there's a certain element of trying to figure it out and put on a show and be interesting for 3-4 hours. What's episode 50? You're going to have this whole thing wired. I mean, we have to have done at least 100 episodes of our Sunday podcast by now.
Yeah.
And most of it happens automatically because everyone knows exactly what's going on all the time. We're just a lot of the background stuff is on autopilot at this point.
For sure.
Like if you saw the first couple episodes, Dory trying to fix the cameras when somebody accidentally dumped out of the web conference. Yeah, it would take him 4 or 5 minutes to figure it out, and now it's fixed before he can even talk about it. So what's the mechanics of doing this, and figuring out what you want to talk about, and you're feeling smoother and stuff. Do you have an idea of where you want to go, or?
I mean, just the whole aspect of, just having different content creators on of like various backgrounds, like, because I have streamers, I have YouTubers, musicians, just like artists. I have a lot of different folks, and like so far, I've just, I guess, to get more comfortable with it. I mean, obviously makes it easier when you're talking with somebody you're a little more familiar with. And I've had a couple of folks on so far that I didn't know like that much personally. Like I had, funny enough, Sam Roberts. I don't know if you're familiar with him. Sirius XM broadcaster. He does some work with like WWE too. He's Jim and Sam. He works with Jim Norton. He has a radio show with him.
Okay.
And I did some freelance work for him. So he was like one of the first ones, which was like, dude, he should be like episode 50, you know? Like, it was like that kind of thing. So I guess like by the time I'm like at that point, like then maybe like at that point I'll be like more comfortable, like just, you know, having like complete like folks I have like
established professionals.
Yeah, or just like, you know, folks I'm like not like particularly like you know, maybe if I'm not like as like friendly with, and then but can still have like a regular or like a good conversation going with them kind of thing, where I'm comfortable enough with that.
Yeah.
So I guess just like kind of building up to that level of comfort where I can just be like, okay, well, you know, we're going through you know, a lot of my friends that like I really want to have on, and then kind of building up to it that way. So
okay, that makes sense. So episode 50 is when by then you're going to be having. So where we're at 13. So you have like you know 30-ish episodes to wean yourself off of the safety zone.
Like, yeah, I guess you could put it that way. I don't know. Like I can still, you know, because I've had, like I said, I had Sam on. I had actually had another buddy on who his channel's called Slacker Stuff on YouTube, which I consider a lot of his stuff like super underrated, and like I wasn't like I didn't know him like super personally, so I guess that was like a good like test bed for me too, to like see like how my, you know, love of comfort was for that. But you know, but it was still a blast like getting like having that chat with him, like learning about like his mindset like behind his videos and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I think with like Sam, like because I had like so much I wanted to ask him, but he was like had like a strict like amount of time, so I kind of like felt bad just, you know, really trying to like condense everything that like I wanted to to bring up for him. But yeah, no, but regardless, like, you know, all these so far have been an absolute blast, like I said, and you know, had a lot of awesome friends on. M was on, you know, Nerdy Jane, Nerdy She Wrote, some of my like best buddies, and you know, now I'm grateful that that you got to come on today, you know, and
yeah, I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely thanks for the invite.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, the episode I watched today, actually, I mean, I like the presentation works well. It translates really well to YouTube.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah. I really don't have to do much for it to, you know, because you're having a conversation. So yeah. It's you know, it's nice to have that discoverability.
Yeah.
YouTube is, you know, the world's second largest search engine. So
yeah. But yeah, I mean that's what I like. You know, I guess that's like the main intent for these two, like just to have like a nice chat with who I have on, you know, and yeah, and they've all, you know, like I said, they've all been awesome so far. So
well, that's good. 13 straight.
lucky number 13.
Crazy for number 14 then. Let's see. What would be your ultimate nightmare guest?
Nightmare guest.
Someone who's impossible to have, who's very difficult to have a conversation with.
Tommy Wiseau.
Oh God. Wow. All right, let's see if we can make that happen.
Yes, next question.
Just anybody know got Tommy Wiseau's people's number? We're gonna get him on here.
Dude, you should watch the guy that I mentioned, Sam Roberts. He had Tommy Wiseau on for an interview, and yeah, literally he was just like, "Yes, next question." Like every like.
Wow.
Like it was. It's actually so funny. Like you should check it out. Or I'll send you the link even.
Remember when Joaquin Phoenix was doing that weird bit for a while, where he would go on talk shows and just not talk.
I don't remember that.
He was
How
doing.
long ago
He
was
was
that? Was
actually
that recently?
no. This was 5 or 6 years ago at least. But
So,
he was doing like some kind of performance art piece about, like he was doing like a character kind of.
oh, was it kind of like what Shia LaBeouf did, where like
Yeah,
he
very similar.
he like locked himself in a room and like with like a paper bag over his head, and like anyone could like go in there and do whatever they wanted to him, basically say whatever they
Yeah.
wanted to him. It's like one of those like performance.
Yeah,
pieces.
kind of like what was the guy that was on Taxi? The heck was his name? Shit, I can't remember his name. Oh well, whatever. But yeah, it was like a big performance art piece that he did over months. So he went on like Letterman and like was like the worst possible guest, like deliberately
just like sabotaging
word answers and like. So yeah, you got anything coming? Yes.
just like staring at the camera.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, we got to see if we can get one of those for you, just to, it's like the final exam. Episode 51. We're getting you like a loaf of bread to talk to. Talk to Loafy.
Actually, funny enough, I have like a funny idea for like a special episode.
Okay.
Where for those of you that took part in donating channel points, this Sunday, the legendary figure himself, the Lucha Cops, will be the host of the channel.
Oh, nice.
And he'll be giving me the day off. I don't wanna get in his way. He'll
drop K-bop on you.
Exactly. And so I was thinking of doing like letting him do one with someone else of a particular funny background like that, and maybe put that on YouTube kind of thing. Like it'd just be like it would just be kind of like a short thing, not like the length of like these conversations, but it's in. I have it as an idea so far.
Yeah, and you almost have to hope that it's not too successful. Oh no, Lucha Cops is now 70% of the streams.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. That should be awesome.
We'll see how it goes. Another thing I wanted to bring up with Twitch, because you attended TwitchCon last year. That was where you finally met like you met Dort, you met pretty much like everybody that's like part of the community and stuff. How was your experience there? And
so the funny thing about TwitchCon is that you probably could just go to San Diego and not bother buying con tickets. Because all the good stuff happens off the con floor. Like, we spent, so much time socializing and just getting to know each other and having such a great time. That, I mean, we'd wake up in the morning, go over to the convention and stay for like 2 hours, just wander around, and we didn't do a whole lot of business. I mean, there wasn't anything that we accomplished on the con floor that we really couldn't have done in any other way. But the ability to be face to face with everyone and finally meet the people you spent so much time with was unbelievable. It was like there's really no substitute.
yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, so I met M there, and then so we hung out there. We had a bunch of hotel rooms all in one hotel, so we all hung out together on the top of the hotel because they had a rooftop bar, and
That's awesome.
yeah.
I was really hoping that before everything went to hell this year, that this was the year I was gonna attend that. And although, because when was it supposed to be, in September, or was it supposed to be this month?
If it was the same week as last year, it would have been last weekend.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was really crossing my fingers I was gonna get tickets, but then once February hit, actually one of the last big things I attended was PAX East.
Okay.
And that was a wicked fun experience. I went with Nerdy Jane. She had an extra ticket, So that was fun. Like that's why I finally got to meet like a Twitch friend that
Yeah,
that I
that's
met like through the platform. So that was awesome.
It's kind of surreal, right? Like,
Yeah. He was like, "Hey, I hung out on your channel." He's like, "Hey, I hung out on your channel."
I've watched you for hundreds of hours. I've watched you inside your house for hours and hours.
But it was just a blast, just like playing. We played a bunch of demos together, and then like where the convention hall was, it was like walking distance of Harpoon Brewery.
Oh,
so got to hit that up. Got some drinks. I had another buddy who works like right down the road from the convention hall, so he like came too, and it was a freaking awesome day.
cool.
Seriously, I'm.
What month did they do PAX East?
February.
Okay, cold.
Yeah, a little chilly.
A little chilly in Boston that time of year. Right?
Okay.
Isn't that where they do PAX East? Is Boston, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
You're never gonna let me live that selfie down, Trev. Dude, I can't look at that thing.
Do tell. Somebody got a link? Anybody?
You don't need to see it. My eyes like bugging out. It's really bad.
Oh yeah. Let's do that right away.
Let's not.
Let's see how good these mods.
I think I deleted it unless Trav like saved it and he like kept it somewhere, which I'm sure he did.
Travis.
We'll post. Oh god.
Oh, standing. Hold on. I'm migrating over. I'm standing by. Let's see. Should we call that art?
Put it in.
Me?
I don't know.
You're damn right I did. That's a mod for you right there. That's a professional.
You did keep it.
Good mod.
Thanks, Trav.
Perfection. I'm just waiting for that message notification to pop up anywhere in the Discord. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, it's awesome. You got to meet everyone there, and was that like your first like big convention too in general, or have you attended like other ones, or?
They've had a few since I live so close to Atlantic City. They have them here that I've been to a couple like smaller Comic Cons, and let's see, what else did they have here? They have boat shows here that I'm not really into boats, but it's here, so I go occasionally. So
was TwitchCon like the only one you really met like a lot of the other folks there, or did you like at some of the other conventions?
I'm forgetting a real big one. I went to San Diego Comic Con.
Oh.
In 2002, I think.
That's awesome. How was your experience at that?
That was pretty amazing. The dedication to cosplay there was absolutely astounding. So I guess that's one of the premier events for that. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. At like the pinnacle. Well, actually, I was gonna say like the pinnacle of like when that would be like biggest, but I don't know, maybe more so like maybe a little after that, like once the popularity of like a lot of the movies and stuff really like brought it to the mainstream and stuff. I'd say, but no, that's still awesome. You got to experience that, because isn't it like invite only now or something, or was like before everything shut down? Or am I thinking of? No, I'm thinking of E3. I think.
Yeah, that E3 or CES, maybe. Yeah, but there was a lot of Firefly cosplay. I remember that year.
You're big into that series?
Oh, I love Firefly. Love it.
Nathan Fillion in general.
Serenity was a little bit of a letdown. Wasn't quite the same tone, but still loved it. I love my Fruity Odie bars. That is a fantastic selfie you got there.
Dude, it's so bad.
Fantastic. I love it.
It's so bad. I can't look at it. I'm unmodding you for that.
You look like your flight or fight instinct is kicking in, and you're frozen. You haven't decided whether you should flee yet or not.
It was literally like taken like right when we got in there, so maybe it was just my excitement of being there. I don't know what that was.
Like the look on your face is someone just unexpectedly showed you their Prince Albert. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I could be wrong, but I consider myself a student of people.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I guess in regards to your channel or with your channel in general, like, do you have like any specific goals you have going forward, like things you want to change up, things you're gonna be bringing to it? What you got in the pipeline?
Thinking, small upgrades. I probably will. I guess I'm due for new alerts, so that I'll probably be working on soon.
You just updated those, didn't you?
I'm always always kind of updating them.
Yeah.
Because I made some small changes to the layout, and my alerts currently animate out from right to left, and I need to change the direction of that animation. So that'll be easy for 2 or 3 of them, but there's some other ones that I need to redo completely. But really, I'm more concerned with I would like to be able to get back to having more stream days and have more time to give to the stream in general. But that's out of my control, so I just kind of have to wait on that.
Mm-hmm. So you eventually you would want to potentially be like a full-time streamer, kind of like M, or is that like the ultimate goal, or would you just?
Yeah, believe me, if my stream would support the life I'd like to be accustomed to, I would certainly be a full-time streamer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just I'm never gonna have the amount of hours that really takes, because aside from doing 24 to 30 hours of streaming in a week, you're looking, I'm watching M just kill herself because of all the work that you have to do behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You gotta keep up with the socials. I mean, just doing the socials just before this podcast was a lot of work. Now imagine that's a full-time job.
Yep.
So
just basically keep engagement going like all the time, basically, to
especially because part of the problem with Twitch and being a streamer in general, live streamer, is that when you're not live, you kind of don't exist. Twitch does nothing as far as discoverability when you're not live.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are not pouring tons of effort into other platforms, when you're not live, you're not doing anything as far as Twitch is concerned. So yeah, being a full-time streamer is definitely out of reach for me. I will probably always at best be a part-time streamer, but I would like to have a little bit more time for it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things, like I've got my 2 streams, but I used to do a lot more socializing with our community, but just because of the full-time job, I just haven't had as much time for that as I'd like either. So I come home and I pass out a lot of the time.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta look after you, man. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's you can only do what you can, and when the times you can come on here, you can do it, and it's just awesome to be able to hang out with you.
The good sign for me though is the thing that lets me know that I do actually enjoy it is that I miss those times. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm thinking, all right, I'm just gonna go to sleep and the heck with that tonight because I'm just too tired. It's like, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, man, I hope this day goes quickly and easily so that I can have the energy to actually hang out. And then I fall asleep. But at least I'm thinking about it. It's the best I can do.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't, your work schedule lately definitely doesn't help, like, for how early you have to get up and stuff.
Yeah,
So
I get up at 3. I'm out of the house by 4, and if I'm lucky when I get home, I can pass out for a little while. Although it hasn't taken much luck lately. I've just been passing the hell out when I get home lately.
but what about the weeks you're remote? Like, are you still? Because you don't. I mean, obviously you don't have the 2-hour drive, so you get.
Yeah, that's
You're able to sleep in a couple extra hours than that.
the first day or two, I'll try to kind of get caught up, and then I have been trying to do more creative stuff lately, so I've been going out and shooting photos and doing some kind of outside stuff just to kind of freshen the brain up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Going for some longboard rides while the weather's still decent.
Nice.
I got my I don't know if you can't really see it in the background. It's too dark in here at the moment, but behind the claptrap is my longboard and helmet back there.
Nice. I think it's a little dark. Can't really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Like I said, just you do you. Just whenever you're on, we'll be there to hang out with you and still have a good time. And then once, like, if things like you're able to get a little caught up, or like things like slow down a little bit, and you can fit the two like that extra day in again, then then everyone will be hanging with you on those days again too. So
it'd be awesome. Yeah. And then I used to fairly religiously be playing Jackbox with Dory on Saturday nights. I've been in there more lately, but I just haven't been playing much.
Mm-hmm.
And that was for a long time, that was like my absolute Saturday night.
Yep.
So, but the world is what the world is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Em and I have our date nights on Fridays, so nobody's getting that.
Yeah, it was nice. Like you did those like random like Friday like streams. You were like out to dinner, and you went live anyway. So got to chat with both of you. Yeah,
that was fun. I enjoyed that, especially there was like the first 1 or 2 times that they allowed us to do outdoor dining here too.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like like phase 1 of the unlock here.
Yep.
Though I have a feeling they're doing indoor dining now. I don't think it's gonna last too long.
Yeah. Yeah, things are like where I'm at in Renown. We're still considered a red state, even though we were like one of the best. Like we're one of the best, and then I think I don't know if it was the protests or like there was like another major thing that happened too, and just everything everything got bad again. But I don't know, but just hopefully this whole mess gets resolved sooner than later, and we'll be back to normal. But
yeah, and then we can come up and hang out.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I want to
creamery and get my awful because I'm about it.
Like I said, I just wanted to introduce you and Em to a lot of the breweries around here and stuff. There's like all throughout New England, there's like so many awesome ones.
Hell yeah!
Like some that's like literally like right around the corner for me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And we have a couple down here too, so
I mean, and you also said you're not that far from Delaware either. Like you mentioned, so like could literally make a trip to Dogfish Head.
Heck yeah! Make a day out of it.
Hell yeah!
Yeah. Hopefully by next summer we'll be able to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And then one of the last things I wanted to bring up to you, because we were talking about the podcast, the Connection Project, originally Discord Boys, and then eventually you did the rebrand, because you guys have been doing that for like a little over a year now, right? Or 2 years? How long is that? What's been like the full like time frame of that?
It depends on when you actually start calculating, but around 2 years or so.
Cool.
Been about a year as the Discord Boys, and we actually reteamed. I don't think it's not really a
rebrand as it's like you just changed up like the lineup and everything.
Well,
or not so much lineup. Oh, I mean, you have like some different folks.
Yeah, we refounded a new team because we have different organizing principles and our mission statement's different. So we consider everyone who is on the team at the moment to be founding members of the Connection Project.
Cool.
So, and I haven't actually done the paperwork yet. I'm one of two people doing treasury, me and Demonic Zed Alpha, and we have our records. I haven't put together how much we've raised for charity this year, but it's so far at least $6,000 or $7,000.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so everything that comes in during our Sunday podcast on the channel, minus our administrative fees. So we have to pay for a whereby. We have Nitro on the Discord channel, and a couple other administrative fees that we have. But everything else goes out to charity.
That's awesome, man.
So all the money raised from subs, bits, straight donations, minus I think we're at around $120 a month for administrative fees, but everything else we give to charity.
That's awesome, man.
That's our primary thing. Figured, a lot of streamers do charity streams, and the individual members of the team still do actually charity streams as well. But the big thing that we did last year was for Christmas, we did a Tours for Tots drive that we ended up raising like $8,500.
Hell yeah!
So
I remember doing that.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where the power of numbers allows you to do a lot more good. So, the synergy of 8 or 9 people gives you more than 8 or 9 times the value. So, hopefully, we're looking forward to doing something very similar this year. Pay attention for details.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
We're going to make it a surprise.
And you always have you have like 5 regulars, and then you'll have like one like rotating chair with a special guest that you always do.
Yeah, most weeks we'll have guests. We'll do either 4 or 5 of the the cast members. Although, there's kind of a blurred line because we have dedicated mods, and some of the mods are also streamers, and so they will come on occasionally and as well.
Cool.
And we try to do good things.
And that's on every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. You guys do that one?
Yeah, 4 p.m. Eastern. Goes for about 3 hours most of the time, and it's a good time. We've been doing it in one form or another for about 2 years. So Dory is extremely good at making the thing happen. We have Demonic Zed Alpha, who is my partner in treasury, is actually also doing production for the podcast. So he's putting the stories together and pulling the clips and all that kind of stuff, making sure that all the things that need to happen in the background happen.
Awesome.
There's a little harder to control 6 of us.
Yeah.
When it's just you and me, it's you can just push mute on me when you have to.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, every Sunday, 4 o'clock, really check out the Connection Project over there.
Yeah.
And
good time.
Yeah. So it's the Connection Project, right?
Yes, with an X.
Check that out over there, and then
yeah, that's the one.
And then of course, give the bud MegaGremlin a follow there. Hunter, good to see you. Appreciate you stopping in.
Hey, what's happening?
But yeah, so that's basically all I got for tonight. I don't want to keep you up too much longer. I know you gotta get up early in the morning. I appreciate you. We've been chatting for almost a few hours, and I'm really grateful for you doing this with me today. It's been really fun, just catching up with you and just having this chat with you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the invite.
Yeah,
great time.
Dory, good to see you as well. Appreciate you.
There he is. Kevin Dory.
I guess usually what we do here at the very end, if anyone in the chat has a question for Mega, feel free to throw it. Otherwise, we'll wrap up. We got to expose. Oh god. Kind of called.
Gonna expose me to the... Anyone? Questions?
Low level work. No worries. Appreciate the lurk, man. Seriously, hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going
He's
good.
probably deep in Azeroth, if I had to guess.
Nice. Yeah, hope you're doing good as well, Hunter. Okay, any questions for Mega? Otherwise,
Oh, forever. Hold on. Favorite breakfast food? Ooh. I have to pick one.
doesn't involve is waffles part of it.
I mean, chicken and waffles, but is that two separate things? Is it one thing? Is it?
That counts as breakfast, right? As long as the waffles are there, you can.
I mean, yeah.
I've never had it for breakfast, but
chicken and waffles it's the perfect brunch food.
Yeah,
I could go on. It's sweet, it's savory.
Favorite late night snack as well.
I'm not gonna get myself in trouble, and so let's see. Favorite late night snack food. I mean, you can't go wrong with pizza, ever.
Never.
Yeah, actually, that probably should also be my favorite breakfast food, but
cold pizza, right?
Emma will give me the eye if I talk about eating too much pizza. He thinks I'm gonna implode.
You gotta live a little sometimes, right?
Exactly. So yeah, favorite snack though. But I don't hate pineapple. I wouldn't go out of my way to get it, but if it's on a pizza, I'm not gonna scream about it.
Mm-hmm.
Although I am kind of a pizza purist though. Like I prefer to eat pizza plain. I don't hate it if it has toppings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go out of my way for toppings. But here's my major thing about pizza. The Chicago deep dish thing,
mm-hmm.
while it tastes wonderful, it's not a pizza.
It's a pie.
It's almost a casserole, right? I mean, it. Don't get me wrong. I think it tastes fantastic. I think it's a wonderful creation. It's just not a pizza. Mm-hmm. Same goes for Pizza Hut. Whatever that thing is, it is not a pizza. It tastes phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I love it. I want it in my face, but it's not a pizza.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a good cheese, like Trav said.
Yo! Oh, here we go. Hey!
Digimanda, rating with a party of 16. Welcome in, everybody. How's it going?
Welcome, Raiders.
Hope you're all doing well. If this is your first time here to the channel, welcome. I'm Kopps. I primarily will play RPGs on here, sometimes a variety of other stuff. And here every other week, we do these little conversations, these interviews with various content creators. This week, we got my good buddy MegaGremlin over here. Welcome in. And yeah, how's it going? And Amanda, how did your stream go? Playing some Resident Evil 4, nice.
RE4, nice.
I've never played a single Resident Evil before, but I would like to. Like I want to work my way through, and because I heard 4 is like one of the best in the series. So
I've been playing 7. I'm a big fan of 7 as well.
Nice. And Cereal Box, welcome in. Good to see you. How's it going? Hope all of you coming in with the raid are doing well.
Hey,
much appreciated.
Welcome, Raiders. Ba-da-ba.
Yeah, good to see all of you. We were actually, unfortunately, we're winding down here. We're talking with Mega here for a few hours, and
hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging at the moment. But yeah, still happy to have all of you here. Loving the atmospheric lighting.
Ooh.
Very much. So feels like we've been playing Raider Tag.
Raider Tag.
Yeah.
It's that time of night. When the day shift is going into the night shift, and you get passed around a couple times before you find something really good.
Someone just raided you too, right at the end of yours. Nice.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It does happen. It's like it's something about like the 9:30 to 10 o'clock time frame where people are coming on and going off at the same time.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've raided into a channel that literally like just ended their feed. Or I mean, you did it to me one time. You raided into me when I I signed off, and then all of a sudden I went back on, and I went for like another hour just to
Oh yeah.
because I felt bad because you brought like 20 or something people at me. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, glad the stream went well, Amanda. And yeah, if you haven't followed Digimanda, check her out over there. She plays a whole lot of Zelda over there. Super talented artist. She'll do some art streams here and there. Definitely check her out.
Oh, cool.
But yeah. And yeah, anytime.
And I followed.
Nice.
Cool. Well, awesome. Someone new to check out. That's always good.
Yeah, we got a lot of whole lot of awesome streamers that will pop in, that will jump in the chat, and I'm always doing my best to share the love around to everybody, and yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you got going on tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
MD Fit wants to ask a question.
What's your question, Em?
Yeah, well, we'll determine if you can ask it after you ask it. Let's see. You can still respond to Mega while I type. Oh no, it's only one question with 37 parts. Don't worry, it's multiple choice. Let's see. I can't wait. Ding, ding, ding.
You're in the.
She heard your snacks. Oh, no.
You're off to bed. All right, Amanda. Thank you. Like I said, thank you again for that raid. I really appreciate you. Hope you have a good rest of your night, and we'll catch you later.
All right. Good night. Thanks for the warning, though, Dory. Appreciate that. I will put my helmet on before I go upstairs. Guess what? What?
And we're getting all the jokes, all the.
So there's 2 muffins in an oven. Chicken butt.
You got you. Your biggest influence, role, idol, and do they have any influence on how you stream or why you stream?
Is that for B Cops or Lucha Cops or?
I assume that was. I wasn't sure if that was a question for you. I thought that was, but for both.
For both. Oh man, with the hard hitters right here at the end. We're trying. Come on, we're looking for softballs here.
The answer is M, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Works her ass off.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that would be one serious answer though, like for real. I mean, biggest idol. I mean, I assumed, like, I mean, for you, like, because we were talking about some of the ones that got you into streaming anyway, like Janelle and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have like any other particular ones, or?
She was definitely a very big influence early on. I mean, my stream style is very much influenced by her stream and the community around it. And I've gotten a lot from everyone who's involved in Discord Boys Connection Project, like the whole ecosystem.
Doesn't need to be a streamer. Or just like content creator in general. Man, like, okay.
Men in Life. Senior drill instructor, Staff Sergeant Al Caldwell. Oddly, pretty true, believe it or not.
Yeah.
A lot of my self-discipline comes from my time in the Marine Corps. I mean, it's not, my personality, character, whatever, came from my parents and friends' parents and that kind of stuff. But definitely Marine Corps boot camp kind of brought some things that I definitely needed. you know, discipline being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And he tolerance for discomfort as well. I mean, funny story. So when I was in Marine Corps combat training, they do a field exercise where you have to, you know, carry a full combat load, march out into the middle of the woods in North Carolina, dig a defensive position, and I was doing this in August, so it's like 90 plus degrees out. It's very humid out in the trees, and so there's bugs eating you all day long. And there's two of you in every fighting hole. You know, one is awake and watching for the sister platoon that's going to try to break through your lines if everybody falls asleep. So one of you is awake at all the time. So I fall asleep in the bottom of this hole, which is 5.5-ish feet deep and 6 feet wide, and maybe about 4 feet long. And I'm sleeping down in the bottom of the hole, and I realize when my sleepy eye pops open, I'm not getting bitten by bugs anymore. And I look down, and I realize that there's spiders all over me. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm not getting bitten by bugs anymore, because the spiders are eating them. And so I went back to sleep. And, you know, I realized at that point that you can get used to just about anything. So, I mean, that whole experience kind of informs a lot of my tolerance for discomfort today. Mm-hmm. You know, getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you just have to kind of do it. And thanks, Travis. Appreciate that. You know, me of 1998 would not have been able to do those things, not having been through an experience where I didn't have a choice. So
that's awesome, though. Like, seriously. I'm really trying to. I think I'm really trying to dig. I don't know, because like a lot of for like content.
I'll say Pauly Shore. We're good.
I don't know, like content creation wise, like I mean, there's like so many like YouTubers that I grew up with that like that got me interested in like being creative and in general. I don't know, or just like you're even filmmakers, even like Chris Nolan that that really like do things that like really like make you like that really make you think about like like outside the box kind of thing, and just really challenge you that way.
Master of the multiple timeline editing too.
Yep.
Like, telling 3 stories at the same time and you not getting lost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. And but for other like content creators in general, like I don't know. I'll just
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm just kind of I'm kind of blanking right now. It's like but
and you weren't ready for it. It's all right.
Yeah. Trav, my father served in the Marines back in the 70s. I've heard all sorts of stories about the Marines through the years.
Who's your influence?
Aww. Trav, you the best, buddy.
My love, there's only you.
Yeah, but seriously, like, I mean, because I can only, I can gush about you and like all you guys like so much, but I seriously mean it. Like you just like everything that you've done to help me. That like even that's like was just like such a big deal for me. That really like got me to rethink of like what I should be doing and or how I should be handling my channel. And like I said, if it wasn't said it many times already tonight, if it wasn't for you, I don't know where I'd be right now. So yeah, and I'm just enjoying meeting folks and hanging out with all you guys, and it's just been a blast, man. And
many more to come.
Exactly, yeah. See where this ride takes us,
37 more episodes at least.
I hope so. I hope it lasts that long.
Heck yeah.
In season 3 at that point, right? Because this would technically be the season finale. Is that how long a season is? 13 episodes.
Okay, cool. I'll take it. I am the season. I am the cliffhanger. So tune in next season.
Paul Heyman for episode 11. Let's go.
Episode 100.
Yeah.
Who else? Let's see. Who else would be awesome?
I'm sure I'll have folks on to come on again at some point too. Like I would love to have you on again just to shoot the shit and
Hell yeah. Tell me when.
Yeah. Interview Lucha Cops for episode 11. Well, there was that that bonus episode I have in the pipeline, Trav, that I'm considering. So we'll see, or I'll let you know. But
give it to like a Hot Ones kind of show with Rhode Island specialties. Like
hot wieners and
hot stuffed quahogs or something.
That's one thing that you and M got experience when you're in Rhode Island. You have to try the Rhode Island staple, the hot wieners. Their signature dogs with meat, sour, celery salt, a little mustard.
Yeah, she doesn't do mustard.
I'm sure you could get it without, but anyway.
She had to do it as a stream challenge once, and well,
didn't go so well.
She ran out of the room pretty quickly. Wow. Never. She despises mustard and everything it stands for, I think, is the fairest way to put it.
What if you guys stop at McDonald's and they accidentally put a little mustard on there? Does she have to scrape it off, or?
She gets plain burgers. Cheeseburgers plain. You have to order them special.
Special, okay.
Like it's just a slab of meat with plastic cheese on it, and that's it.
I mean, even that, still hits a spot.
I mean, yeah, it's still McDonald's, It's one. So now we trolling him. Yes, indeed.
Nah, we not trolling. All the love to you, seriously.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, I think we've been chatting for a few hours, like I said. I won't hold you up any longer. I know you need to get to bed. You got to get up early. So, but yeah, thank you again so much for doing this, for hanging out, and
absolutely.
Yeah, seriously, really appreciate
Great
you,
time.
buddy. And yeah, thanks to everyone in the chat for hanging out. And yeah, if y'all bear with me for a little bit, we'll throw a raid skit somebody. But before that, yeah, Digimanda again. Thank you for that raid. Mel had the raid. Appreciate that, buddy. M and Mega, of course, with the 1 year and 13-month subs.
Hell
Appreciate
yeah.
you guys. And yeah, and then of course M with the raid as well. So seriously appreciate it. And like I said, if you aren't following MD Fit, if you're not following my bud MegaGremlin here, please before I miss this Aga.
Stroke it.
Yeah, if you're not following, like I said, if you're not following MD Fit, if you're not following MegaGremlin, any of the folks from that community, please check them out. The Connection Project every Sunday over on that channel.
Heck yeah,
It's a good time as well. And yeah, so let's go see who's on. Who is on right now?
Let's make some friends.
Yeah. Let's see.
Thanks, Zach.
creator dashboard doesn't want to tell me like
Yeah.
exactly who's on. It's lovely.
They made some lovely upgrades in the last week or two.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Camp the boys on. My buddy Ed Campers. Let's go check it. Let's go. I don't think I've ever thrown a raid to him. So let's.
What's he streaming?
He's doing some Red Dead Redemption 2.
Ooh, nice.
So yeah, let's go see him over there. Let's go give him a nice hello, and yeah, till next time. I'll be on again this Thursday. We're gonna be starting some Donkey Kong Country 2 on here, so that'll be fun. And yeah, and of course tomorrow night you got Jordan on. You got Rasso. I think you'll be on tomorrow. How's it going, buddy? Good to see you. And Mega, you'll be on Thursday as well.
I will.
6:30, and as well as Saturday. So definitely check him out there.
I am.
And yeah, like I said, thanks again everybody for hanging out. Let's go say hello to my bud Camp over there. And yeah, till next time, Aga and all you guys. Thanks again, and we'll see you later, everybody. Catch you later.